selling drugs, and Mr. Selling drugs, and says the cops won't help his black neighbors here. I sell drugs. That's what I do. That's what I've always done around here. I stopped, went to prison 3 times. Now I have all the friends with the cops. If you guys want to keep going this route, we're going to go the legal route. You're not going to get any help from the cops because they're my people. Do you understand? Yeah. That's why you're not getting anything. And I know that you said that. The cops came down and told me, they said, what do you want us to do? So you can figure that out. We're not trying to cause you a problem. You're not trying to cause us a problem, right? I've never been trying to cause you a problem. Right. So there's no reason for the cops to come back around. We should be perfectly cordial, be able to have these conversations and be able to live around here with no problem. Yeah, but now what you're talking about, the cops aren't going to help you or calling my brother. I don't bother you. I don't do your brother. Yeah, you did do that. No, I said now I'm going to call the cops. That's what I said. I didn't call your brother. I said now here I go looking like a calling the cops. That's exactly what I said. Well, we all heard you. We all heard you? We all heard it, yeah. Everybody outside. I couldn't believe it because I wasn't even in the argument. Right, you weren't even there either. Yeah, I came outside at the time. Keep doing what you're doing. His mother shot again. The man went to the neighbor and said, listen, I sell drugs. That's what I do. He should have been arrested when the officer first responded. For some reason, he was not. It took an entire community to accept his invitation to come to his home before an actual investigation happened and he then got arrested. He now has 8 years to serve 4. If he messes up inside of prison, they can max that time to the 8-year number. All right, Ricky, thoughts to you? Yeah, they sent the police officers out from the show when I there with all that patience or whatever, but they don't have that same kind of patience for African Americans. And he talked all that trash and gave out that address. And they marched him out of the house. Somebody had went to Dollar Tree and hit him in the head with a cheap photograph of Dr. Thunder. I saw the Dr. Thunder. All right, we don't, condone violence, but that was we don't. Right. We don't, man. But yeah, so now he's gonna do his time in prison, and I just love seeing justice for people like that. That kind of behavior, that kind of racism, or whatever. And it sends out a strong message to other people that have that in them. Maybe work on themselves and get out of that because it's just not gonna go well for you. It's 2023, even though a lot of racism is still going on or whatever, but communities, black folks are just not playing that. We're not taking it no more. And this is not the 50s. If you have the internet now, you're giving out your address, you vote, or whatever. Folks showing up. Yeah, they're showing up. And, the thing is, that community got together. They got rid of somebody who was a drug dealer, according to his own words. Obviously, he was racist, according to his own rhetoric. And now that community has been set free from that kind of type. All right. Yeah, man, it feel good to see him get marched out. It was beautiful. Yeah, and the police marched him out probably for his protection at a point. But once they found all the illegal substances that he admitted to having, lights out.
I tell him, nigga, I'm turn up pussy. Why I thought you don't turn up? Why? Because who was harassing who?
Remember the racist guy we covered?
Who was harassing who?
Police call everybody the N-word, but he cried in court because he got hate.
I don't believe no crying in court.
Prosecutor suspended for charging innocent protester. The first word that popped out is suspended. Phoenix, Arizona, April Sponsel, the former Maricopa County Attorney's Office prosecutor, worked with Phoenix police to falsely charge protesters as gang members. Will lose their local license for at least 2 years. Another word that pops out too. Is 2 years. Suspension was leveled against Sponsel on Tuesday. Sponsel was one of 4 attorneys in the Maricopa County Attorney's Office assigned to a First Responders Bureau that was created to prosecute alleged crimes against first responders like police officers. Another problem I have. After the Minneapolis police killing of George Floyd and the Arizona Department of Public Safety killing of Deon Johnson, The NCAO received hundreds of charge submittals from law enforcement arising out of local protests. According to the disciplinary hearing panel's written decision, suspending Sponsel took the lead on pursuing felony prosecution against the protesters. Arizona Republic with the reporting. Disciplinary hearing panel found that police reports related to an October 17, 2020 protest that led to the arrest of 18 people had cut and paste characteristics, including carry forward misspellings, undeleted template prompts such as name, and substantially identical verbiage. Of those arrested, Sponsor charged 15 people with 3 felonies: riot, hindering prosecution, and aggravated assault. The hearing panel found Sponsor cavalierly dismissed exculpatory evidence, did not review important video evidence, wrongly accused a man of possessing Antifa paraphernalia, and rushed the case over to a grand jury. Leave Antifa out of it. Amy Caper, one of the protesters who was arrested, told the hearing panel experience that led her to believe the legal system is so much worse than I ever could have imagined. According to the hearing panel's decision, she lost a job because of her arrest and suffered from PTSD because of the ordeal. The decision states, so much dirtier and more insidious, backwards and evil than I could have ever imagined, Caper said. According to the decision, I believe she's been through every bit of this. I look at her picture here, every bit of it. It's not a shock to me. The hearing panel also found responsible work with police to fabricate the ACAB gang and bring criminal street gang charges against protesters with the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. They've never done that before. 3-person panel quoted County Attorney Rachel Mitchell, who testified that Sponsor's grand jury presentation against protesters was outrageous. The panel said the evidence presented to them supported Mitchell's assessment. Ms. Sponsor may not have intended to indict an innocent man, the hearing panel wrote of one of the people. The evidence establishes that she did so. When presented with evidence contradicting the charges against the protesters, Sponsor did not take the time to give it an objective examination, the hearing panel found. Hearing panel found Sponsor violated multiple ethical conduct rules. Her 2-year suspension is effective 60 days from Tuesday. Again, the Arizona Republic was reporting there. I'm incensed, yes, by the conduct, but also by the panel. You know, you have to be pretty bad for your colleagues, basically. Those who do what you do, to step up and pull you out publicly. But to hear things like, she may not have intended to indict an innocent man, when you don't review evidence, when you blow off exculpatory evidence, when you cut and paste like it's a template, someone's life, and choose to charge as a gang, what's RICO? When you do all that, you did intend. You did intend. This is willful misconduct, not negligence. There's a huge difference. What I heard is willful misconduct. You're charging innocent people with felonies and at least 2 years suspension. Why would you ever be allowed to practice law again? Ever? What does it take for these people to lose the privilege of being part of the system where they persecute people? Tell me where I'm wrong here, Jackson. And by the way, I have another question for you. Why is there a necessary carve-out here? Why does there need to be a special unit that prosecutes on behalf of first responders and police officers? Aren't crimes crimes? And if one's committed against an officer or first responder, people should be charged. But again, it puts this, they're up here, and we're over here. I don't know. Maybe they have a special unit that protects and prosecutes on behalf of innocent people who were subjected to trumped up charges. Maybe. But I haven't heard about that. But I'll let you know.
Well, yeah, exactly. As you pointed out, there's special prosecutors for things like that because it helps to keep the system intact. It may, in terms of how it's sold, there's special instances. There's more data to look for. We have to be. But all it is about maintaining authority and keeping the state in the position that it's in. Now, I do 100% agree that these prosecutors should just flat out be disbarred and fired and not allowed to practice law again. However, not being able to do this for 2 years, I think, is going to have a serious impact on their careers. Just period. So at least there's that. At least there was some justice. But at the end of the day, like you pointed out, this was very intentional, very brazen, and above all, it was very political. She was going about this. These prosecutors were going about this because of what they believed politically. They thought that this is the right thing to do. We have to set an example here, and that's why they got punished the way that they did. Because you can't play with people's lives because of what you personally believe or how you think things should go. So that's all this was. 100%. They did this because they wanted to, and they got busted for it. Again, I wish they got fired, but I think that 24 months without being able to practice law is probably going to put a dent in their careers that they can't fully, truly recover from. But they shouldn't be fired.
I mean, you're right. No, I think I'm right. I think it's going to be a very painful experience. 2 years without, you were up here and now you're kind of people decide with you if they care. But I'm right too. What I hear here is, even in this panel, who was charged with kind of getting the facts out, and they seemingly did a bang-up job. A bang-up job rated on a curve, you see. I hear people going out of their way to make excuses for a crime. This is misconduct. You want to do a review board? Fine, you want the HR. If this is true, it's a crime. What you did is a crime. Willful misconduct. It's not the same as accident. People get charged by accident.
Right.
Well, they get charged because it's just so heinous and the details. You can find something there. I don't want to see her ever in a courtroom again unless she's sitting at the defendant's table. I don't want her inside meeting with police officers unless they're interrogating her. I think that's what she's earned here. Ruining lives. I don't hear anything about wiping out these, indictments, these arrest records that come up time and time again. I don't hear anything about that. Innocent people. Disgusting.
Tell me about the shirt you're wearing.
Pretty much speaks for itself.
Is that something you would really like to see happen?
Absolutely.
Even with that crucifix dangling over it, what would Jesus think of that?
Absolutely.
Again, you have Jesus hanging over him for treason.
What's the penalty for treason?
The Great West here.
Tell me this then.
Put him in prison.
I love it, that. The Great fucking West. So it's set in the West, isn't it? Fuck up.
Sometimes in the journals, they just walk away from them.
To fuck up things, things that never make sense.
COT contributor Michael Short was deployed for field reporting last Wednesday.
See, I give roses.
Handout attendees. How could you miss her? Apparently, she claimed Obama is still running the show.
That's funny.
So what is it about Donald Trump forgetting Joe Biden for a moment that you like so?
What did he do for this country? What did he do for the entire world? World peace?
What did none of them do? I didn't do nothing.
Taxes, everything was phenomenal.
Trump just honest. I mean, we all want an honest leader, you get me? Tell us that we are losing by default, isn't it? I say it. You'd rather an honest leader than somebody who's smiling in your face and don't mean it.
Was Obama call that show?
Yeah, I mean.
I believe so. What did he say at the end of his second term?
You'd rather somebody who tells us the truth. Tell us that you're economically disadvantaged for reasons outside of our control. You have to respect that, innit? At least you know you get me, innit?
Biden's not doing it.
But is there support for that?
At least, you know, we all prefer honest people. I mean, nobody, none of us appreciate a liar, even though we all lie. Even when we lie, we hate liars. We all prefer honesty. You know? Simple as that.
I'm a bit confused too now. Having heard
You see,
disclaimer.
you see, this government is trying to claim that I think I live in America. Yeah, and I obviously realize because my media, obviously, I'm on a YouTube, yeah, and UK has its own version of YouTube, which should promote more UK-based content than anything else. But my YouTube pretty much promotes American stuff all the time. So even if I search for something, my search is going to be dominated by my search is going to be dominated by American stuff. I can just type in harassment and it won't come up with anything based on England. It's just all American stuff. Which they thought they could use to claim, oh, he needs therapy, he needs treatment because he's mentally ill. Which doesn't make sense because America is an ally of Britain. America is an ally of Britain. Every law America has pretty much exists here. They just call it something different. For a typical example, in America, I believe they call it aiding and abetting. So, what I think, yeah, that's what I think they call it. So, in America, they call it aiding and abetting, yeah? And it basically means in England, they'll say you're assisting an offender. It's the same exact fucking charge. So, these little cunts who thought they were clever, yeah, and they're obviously corrupt because they know that, yeah, I mean, they know that it's pretty much the same thing. They're allies, yeah, I mean. Anything you do, your fucking ally does, man. Simple as that. Yeah, I mean, if your ally builds a new technology, you're going to have access to that technology because what do friends do? It's called links. What do? They share fucking ideas and plans with each other, innit? So these little twats from England who thought they were more clever than me quickly found out that they weren't. And that's why they're bad. That is why these fools have to hide. Yeah? Yo, if you go on my Instagram, all my media is completely engulfed by American shit. Yeah? I don't mind. I grew up watching American TV. I didn't grow up watching British TV, so what they do don't mean nothing. So they're suggesting that while I was in Jamaica, I thought I was in America too. I mean, they can't win what they're trying to do here, bro. I mean, these guys are idiots. In Jamaica, go and ask any Jamaican on the planet. Go and ask any Caribbean country on the planet. We watch American TV. Simple. Yeah, everything we watch is American. Yeah, everything. Yeah, all the movie channels, all of that is all American stuff. So these twats are out here talking about mental illness, and this guy don't know where he is. He thinks he's in some delusion that he lives in America. The problem is the mental health law says you have to take people's culture into account. Yeah, what they that so they don't misinterpret culture and behavior for mental illness. So, i.e., guess what? I grew up on American TV in Jamaica, and that's why I don't like Delta because she's a cruel woman, and all these Jamaican people are involved. Yeah, yeah. I don't even want to use the word evil. What I use is their pussy or they get me in. I don't. The word evil. And people could make that same assumption of me, innit? You know what I mean? That yes, I do have certain things that people would look at as a bit immoral and a bit evil, if one could say so. So that's not that problem. The problem is these cons thought they were clever, and I obviously figured it out myself what they were doing, innit? Blatantly figured it out that they are suggesting that I think I'm living in America because I'm having some sort of random delusion, yeah. And what they're using to justify is social media and all the stuff that I consume is basically American. Because if you go on my stuff, I hardly follow any British people. I hardly follow any British person. Hardly. Yeah, because they don't really get suggested on my page. They don't get suggested on my page. Yeah, you know what I mean. But then I realized I started to take notice of all my social media. It's just all American stuff, which I don't think they can write that down on paper, but in a courtroom that wouldn't hold up. It's simple enough. That's why I'm not being charged. That's why you don't see the police coming kicking out over my door. Because they blatantly lose. Because guess what? When I was in Jamaica, did I think I was in America? Yeah, I mean, did I think I was in America? Yeah, I mean, these guys have to hide because whether people don't care or not, where are they going to get the jury from? The juries will care. So they know they're going to die regardless because what they have done is pretty much try to ruin my life and have me put in a hospital and try to justify this as, oh, this is what Britain does. We're right, we all know what Britain does. We all fucking know what Britain does, bro. Yeah? But even I'll go even one step further and say, well, America and Britain are allies. Everybody knows that whatever they do, the other does it. Every technology invented in Britain, you'll find in America. Guaranteed. Everything, every company and technology you find in America, as in companies that we all know, you would find here. So we are talking from Adidas right down to anything you can fucking think of is here. So they're essentially the same people. Britain even used to rule America at one point. Until they kicked them out. So any justification of what they're putting on that paper is nonsense. What that says is that they had an ulterior motive and they were doing something the whole time where they felt it was necessary to lie and create these false rumors and ideology. Because everywhere I go, if I order food, they contact the food people and tell them stuff about me. I don't know what they're telling them. I don't care what they're telling them. I don't know these people. I don't care about them. No. You know what I mean? Anywhere I go, they're telling the people stuff about me. I don't care about these people. They mean nothing to me. You get me in. They were not there when I needed anyone. They weren't there when I didn't need anyone. They mean nothing to me. You get me in it. So them telling these people stuff. Guess why they're telling them? Because if I don't care about what these people think, why are they telling them? It's because they're trying to manipulate the public into thinking what they're doing makes sense. You know what I mean? What it is just a blatant mind games, and they can't even play the mind game properly. That's the worst part for me. They cannot even play these mind games like good, innit? I mean, that is the issue for me. Is that if they were actually good at what they tried to do here, it would make fucking sense. You know what I mean? But that's what they're trying to do. Try to suggest I think I live in America based on the media I consume. My nigga, I'm used to fucking American media all my life. And even more, check every Jamaican person who goes to a foreign country. What accent do they use? They use an American accent. Every single Jamaican person that comes abroad using an American accent until they learn to speak the local accent. Well, ask anyone. You go and check any Jamaican off of a plane. They're using an American accent. Why? Because we consume American media. I will harm you, blood, and that's why you see you'll never see me arrested for nothing until I get one of these people. You'll never see an arrest happen because they couldn't win it. Because what the NHS is suggesting doesn't make sense on paper. You get me? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense what they're doing on paper, and they couldn't. They simply can't win it. All of this that's going on in the game, all these little things that's going on, is all a part of the conspiracy. And they even went further out here trying to say people are conspiracy theorists. But then you find the government arresting people and prosecuting them for conspiracies, which makes them the conspiracy theorists. Yeah, no matter what I say, no matter what racist shit I say, no matter what racist shit I do, they cannot arrest me and do anything. Not because I am somebody special, it's because they will lose in the fucking courtroom anyway. If I go out there and plunge a knife in somebody's head or face, obviously it's an automatic L for me, but they'll still have problems. I just don't want to sacrifice myself just to cause that problem. It's as simple. They cannot win. It's as simple as that. They cannot win, blood. This game is an American game. So everybody who plays FIFA, don't they think they live in America too? You're a dickhead, blood. You man fail here, yo, the level of failure on human side is outrageous. And the people are going to know what you people are like. And then people won't be putting their kids in your care anymore as easy as it was. A lot of people started fighting back against you, man. But people started to realize what you people are. Bro. Man, I'm pedophiles. Bro. You better pedophiles, but yeah, look. It is. They had a preemptive plan because they've been doing certain abusive shit from when I was a young child, and they tried to come in. Ever since I came here in 2008, they have been spreading rumors about me for the last 15 fucking years. Ever since I got here, it's because it's been going on from Jamaica, and they brought it over alongside them to England, and I strongly believe that they are out here trying to tell people that, oh, I've never lived in Jamaica. I can prove that I did. That's how they're justifying it and saying that he's never lived in Jamaica. He's crazy, delusional, blah blah blah. He's got some false memory of something. Yeah, that's bad. I can never be arrested. Not because I'm somebody special or somebody protected by anyone in power. It's nothing to do with that. What it is they are doing some shady shit out there and they're being caught. And what they're going to, if they arrest me and prosecute me, I have to, where am I going to go? Where am I going to be prosecuted? Inside of a courtroom, innit? It's simple. That's why, and all of that would be on court record and obviously be public record. Because if it's sealed, people will know that they're dodgy, innit? You can't wait what it is gonna do. Everybody who comes to England, yeah, speaks with an American accent or the Jamaican version of an American accent. Why? Because we grew up on American TV. It's as simple as that, innit? We grew up with American media, music, TV, the whole thing. What we have out there is Cinemax and HBO and Lifetime and these sort of things. You get me? That's what we have out there. That's what we fucking listen to and that's what we watch. That's why I don't like Delta. Like, there's no circumstances where any amicable solution comes from that because she knows that. So obviously, the fact that she's siding with them, it means she was a part of the very same abusive network. Because you have people in England who go to places like Thailand and Cambodia and these places and abuse children, yeah? They literally leave this country to go and abuse children in foreign countries. So you can make sense of that and say, well, one sec. You can make sense of that and say, well, they would fucking send kids from here to foreign countries and abuse them out there just to say. Yeah, I mean, it's just the same. They go literally, you find people out there for paying 5, 10 grand to go and abuse kids in foreign countries and do pedophilic shit in foreign countries because it's easier to get away with it out there. I mean, these guys don't stand a chance here, bro. Like, they don't stand a fucking chance. Yeah, I mean, they don't stand a chance here, bro. Not a chance. I'm not being arrested not because I'm some scary nigga with some secret government affiliation. I'm nothing like that. I'm a normal nigga that was abused by this group of people. And the police, for some reason, seems to cover up abuse. Check the British police, they cover up a lot of abuse. A lot. You know what I mean? They're all the things that they do and say, all these people that they arrest, how often does abuse cases go in the court and how often are they public? How fucking often? The only time you find abuse cases going into the court is when some stupid people abuse the child until the child fucking dies. And obviously they don't live out in the fucking woods. So everybody who lives in their community knew that they had a child. Where did the child go? People would ask questions. so that they're forced to prosecute them people. Otherwise, they won't prosecute you, bro. If you have no family in this bitch, or you're some orphan child, no, but guess where you are? You're in behind some government doors. Who the fuck knows what goes on behind them orphan doors, bro? Nobody knows what goes on behind it. Nobody knows what goes on behind orphanages, but the state and people who work there. That's it. Nobody else knows. Because you can't just walk off the road and walk into one of them places. You can't. You have a designated area for fucking visitors, bro. And you stay in that designated area, and you have a big door, authorized personnel only. You're not allowed to go back around there because why? They don't want you to know what's going on back around there. Otherwise, they'd open these places up like a fucking museum and let you walk in there. That's what they do. They don't be up like a fucking museum, blood. The only places where you find locked doors is where people don't want you to go in there and see whatever is going on or steal shit. Otherwise, doors aren't locked. Blood. Go in any house where you see pure locked doors and pure doors with padlocks and locked by keys and that. Abuse is going on in that house. Trust me. Locked doors are a sign of abuse. If you want to know if a child or something is being abused in the house, trust me, you'll see those with locks on them. It's a telltale sign of abuse. It's a pattern. And that's what they don't like because they're thinking, they themselves think I work for the government. That's funny. They themselves think I work for the government, blood. Because, trust me, anywhere you go and find locked doors, it's not for safety or safeguard. It's because they don't want you to see what's going on behind there. Otherwise, you won't lock doors. When you live in your house, and when you live in a house with your kids, and you're not abusing, all the doors are open up. Only when you're doing something that you don't want the child to see, you lock the door, innit? Otherwise, you won't lock the door. Only when you're having relations with your partner, them doors are locked. Why? Because you don't want the child to see. So locked doors are a sign of some sort of activity that you don't want to be seen. It's simple. Just based off human behavior alone. When you and your partner are doing whatever in the house, what do you do? When the kids go to bed, you lock the door so they don't come into the room and see anything. So when you go to a government building and you find all these locked doors, assume that the government is doing something shady. It's common sense. It is common sense. I mean, it's common sense, man. Fuck off. Anyway, you see locked doors. Trust me, something is going on there that they don't want you to know. I like these guys, man. And like I said, exactly what you're seeing. When there's no answers and nothing present, they don't want you to know. Just like oh, I don't know who these people are. Yeah, they're talking about they're treating me and therapy and all of this. And why don't they want me to know that I'm under some therapy? Why don't they want me to know? I mean, why wouldn't I not, why am I not allowed to know that I'm being treated by doctors and scientists and why? It don't make sense. It's because they were doing shady shit and they don't want to be called out for it. Other people in the government won't probably be a part of it, but don't want that to come out that guess what? A specific demographic of people are doing this because historically they have always been the ones who do it. Anywhere white people are, there's eugenesis. I've been said that the whole time. Anywhere they are. And eugenesis is also it's crazy shit what they do. Anywhere white people are, you find eugenesis. Just check any country where they are, you'll find eugenesis behind there. Yeah. And that's what they're still doing it to this day. I say Delta is a part of it because why would my own mother not want me to know that the British government and medical society are saying I'm a suspected terrorist, I'm mentally ill, I'm vulnerable? Why would my own mother not want me to know that? It's simple, she's either an abuser herself, and we find parents abusing their own kids all the time. So it's not far fetched. It's not far fetched. How do I miss that? It's not far fetched to believe that a parent can abuse child. Parents abuse kids even to death a lot of times. Yeah? So it's not far fetched. Why don't she want me to know? I mean, she messaged me yesterday, yeah, saying that oh she put £170 in my account. I tried to return it, and basically my Halifax won't allow me to return the money to her already. Every time I do it, basically there's some issue. It says, "Oh, app not working. Try again later." Blah blah blah. Every single time I do it, it says that. Yeah, she's trying to do is make out like she's still here as a mother. I don't want nothing from her. I don't talk to her. I don't know why she's doing that. And they're the ones that's telling her to do that. Because the inevitable death of me, yeah, she needs to play the role as a concerned mother. But it will always be out there. The things I say will always be out there because who decides what gets said publicly and not get said publicly? Yeah. They cannot win this. They don't matter what they can't win this. I don't want her around me. I don't want nothing to do with it. It's simple. She don't want to tell me what is going on. Why do I want a parent or even a friend around me? Why would I associate with anybody who wants to keep secrets from me? You get me, innit? Am I an idiot? I mean, why would I keep anybody around me that does not want me to know what is going on or that there is anything at all going on that affects me, whether good or bad? You know what I mean? Whether negative or positively, doesn't matter how it affects me. Why would they not want me to know? Because if it affects me positively, if it affects me positively, why don't they want me to have the positive experience? If it affects me negatively, you can see why they wouldn't want you to know. I mean, you man can't win this, man. Like, not yesterday, not today, not tomorrow. You man simply can't win this. It's simple as that. You man cannot win this. Man. You man cannot win this, brother. It's simple. I'm not no fucking spy for some nation. And that's what they're doing. They're putting all these mad rumors out there. They're putting all sort of rumors out there. Rumors that I'm a spy for Russia. Rumors that I'm a potential terrorist. Rumors that I'm crazy. Rumors that I'm a thief. Rumors that I'm abusing women. They're putting all these rumors that I'm killing animals. All these mad rumors that are out there spreading because they're using it to make problems because nobody will know why anything happened because all of this was being said about the individual and nobody will know what happened. People will just speculate in the end. That's all. That's what they're trying to do. They think they're smart, innit? I say anyway, white people are there is eugenesis there, and if you don't know what eugenesis is, we'll find out, innit? You'll realize it's always connected to I mean, you can't win what you man are doing here. Bro. That's why everything I say negative is quickly put out in the public because it turns the public against you. And then certain people who are a part of the network perpetuates it. I mean, certain the people who are part of the network they share it, share it, share it, share it till it gets to people who aren't a part of the network, and they scream, "Everybody knows." Everybody knows what? What do you man know nothing, bro. The community does not have a clue what is going on more than what is being told to them. And the government does a lot of things and don't tell people. Ask yourself why they're telling you people this. They do a lot of shit. We all know that they do a lot of shit that they don't tell anybody at all. That the public is not privy to. Yeah? So why all of a sudden they want to tell you every fucking thing that I'm doing and saying? Why do they want to tell you everything I'm doing and saying all of a sudden when there's so much conspiracies about what goes on in these government facilities and they don't want to tell you that. They don't want to tell you what is inside of Area 51. They've been speculating for the last what 1960, yeah, since around 1960 Area 51 has existed in America and Nevada, yeah. And to this day, we as the public have not been privy to what the fuck goes on in there. We are just allowed to make up stories. So they obviously are aware that not no information leads to stories being made up. Guess what? Oh, you are being treated for a mental illness. Well, don't give him any information. What is he going to obviously do? Make up stories. That's obviously what he's going to do. And the principle of the what they're doing can easily be proven through the conspiracy of what um, what Area 51 is. None of us actually know what goes on behind them doors, but guess what? We all make up some sort of idea, wrong or right. So they know that when you get no information, you make up ideas. And usually you're going to go to some of the worst things possible. So guess what? Not giving you any information but claiming that you're delusional in some way or so, are they not perpetuating the delusion themselves? And then they use that to justify. I do not want Delta to be associated. I don't want to associate with her. I don't want any money from her. I don't want to see her. I don't want to talk to her. Pretty much, if I could wipe the word Delta out of my memory, if it was possible, I fucking would, mate. I don't want nothing to do with her. I don't want to see her. I don't want to know her. She's not a mother that I either like or want to be as my mother. I disowned her as a mother. End of story. I've got the legal right to do so. People disown their family members. Parents disown their kids all the time. Children can disown family members too. This is 2023. You get me? I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want her to call me. I don't want to speak to her. I don't want to hear nothing from her. Pretty much, I want to forget the word Delta ever existed. I want to forget the name in total. Anybody called Delta, I would like. I don't want any association. You get me? It's that deep, bro. Simple. You man cannot win this. Parents disown their kids for various reasons. Various reasons. Kids can disown their parents too. And this woman refused to be disowned. Because why? What I think her purpose is to stay in my life so she can give what's the word now? Consent, yes. Her purpose is to give consent to these people. That is her role and only her role. That's why I'll abuse her. I'll abuse her. When I'm fucking ready, I'll put all the abusive message I've sent to her publicly online. I say I've threatened to kill her, I've threatened to shoot her, I've threatened to stab her, I've threatened to murder, I've threatened her with so many things because she refuses to leave me alone. I don't want nothing to do with her. It's simple as that. Because they need her for consent purposes. Because that's her role. That's always been her role in this thing. She gives consent to them. That's it. That's always been their role. And that's why they don't want it in court. Because it goes in court, it's going to be proven that she has been giving consent. And that, oh, we are not doing anything illegal. The mother gave consent to you. Then that's why her role. And that's why I don't want nothing to do with that. And that's why they keep forcing her to be involved. Because I don't want nothing to do with her because I'm aware that she's giving them consent. And I don't live with her, I don't associate with her. She can't be giving consent if you don't associate with somebody. And that's the purpose. That's why she won't fuck up. I've told her I'll kill her, I've told her I'll stab her, I'll shoot her. I've said everything under the sun to get this woman just to fuck off and stop contacting me. I want nothing to do with her. I don't care who wants to be out there talking about your mother's love. Fuck you and your mother's love, bloody you hear that? I don't care, man. I don't want nothing to do with her. I don't care who wants to put on social media about love your mom and that. Nope, I fuck you. Worry about your own self, innit? Simple as that, innit? I don't care who wants to put that on social media, but I don't care like that. Children disown their parents, disown their kids all the time, all the time. I want to disown my mom. I shouldn't have to change my number. She doesn't even respect the fact that I don't want to talk to her. Like, why would I want somebody around me that simply can't even respect the simple fact that I want no association with her based on her own actions? Simple. It's based on her own actions. She don't want to tell me what is going on around me. Then why would I associate with anybody that don't want to tell me what's going on? What am I going to talk to them people about? You know what I mean? What do you talk to somebody about when they are not honest with you? Yeah, so most of our lives, you share it with your loved ones. Most things happen with you. You share it with your loved ones. Most problems you have, you share it with your loved ones. Most achievement, you share it with your loved ones. You get me, friends and family alike. Yeah, that's what you do with your loved ones. So these people don't want to share what is going on with me. What am I going to? I'm just going to sit around them in silence because they don't want to tell me, be honest with me. Why would I share my life with them? That don't make sense. Innit? I'd rather share it with social media. As simple as that. I'd rather share it with social media. I don't want nothing to do with her. You get me? And I will never stop saying it. And I will never stop sending interest until she fucks off. And goes away, innit? Go live her life, innit? Because without her, they don't have consent. Simple as that. And they need her for consent. And no matter what, if I stop dealing with her, they can't take it to court because they're going to argue that they did nothing illegal because it was consented, yeah? And then when it turns out the only person who could give consent is her. Nobody else could. And when it turns out that she was giving consent, I'm gonna kill her anyway. When it turns out that's what she did, I'm gonna kill her any fucking way, bro. And the police know that they can't win. The prosecutors, they all know. But basically, whatever makes what they're doing illegal, she was aware of it. It doesn't, that's as simple as that. They cannot win. Whatever they are doing here, she was aware that it is being done. Her silence means she is fucking complicit to it or gave consent to it. And then how does that play out in the state? What did the state do for her or say to her why your own mother becomes complicit in that? They either threatened her and intimidated her or she was a part of it from the start. Where does that go in the court? That don't work out for them. Because she'll have to say why she didn't this and why she didn't do that. I'm not being arrested not because I'm some special person or I'm some fucking secret James Bond spy that secretly works for MI5. I'm not a Russian spy. Nothing. These people have done certain things against me, and because they don't like certain people, what it says, a friend, was it an enemy of my enemy is a friend? That's it. So all here Russia, suck, yeah, my dad. Oh, they don't talk about suspicion of terrorism or oh here Russia pussy. Suck your mama. It's simple as that. You man cannot win that. It doesn't matter what kind of insinuation you put across social media because they can't do anything more than use social media because I don't interact with anyone. So the only place they can harass you and use insinuations now has to be through the media. Because guess what? I don't have any friends. I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. I'm sat in my house all the time. You can't be arrested, harassed inside your house. It's impossible. Yeah? So the only way they can harass you is by using fucking social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, any sort of media, and then send subliminal messages and indirect messages at you. Yo, I've been doing this for a long fucking time. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I've been doing this a long fucking time. I put on my social media in around 2014, 2015. I put up on my Instagram name subliminal techniques. Yeah? And what these little cunts did, I was insinuating that these people were using subliminal techniques against me. What they went and did and said, I am the one who is doing it. And now everybody agrees that it was meant is to be done to me. Yeah? That's what they've done. They think they're so clever. That is exactly what they've done. They were doing it to me from the get go, trying to control someone's mind and thought process. Because mind control isn't necessarily some goddamn puppet on a string or a device in your head. It's suggestive. So if you know what suggestive language is, that is mind control. So, i.e., advertisement or suggestive languages. Oh, you see the Nike sign, all of a sudden you want to go and buy a Nike. That's mind control. It's a basic mind control. So they were doing this, and I figured out that this was going on in my life, yeah. So I put it up there as an indirect way to say I know what is going on. They then took that and started spread that around. The little informants and the little rats and whoever these people are who was flooding my social media following, they then took that and started going around the community and spreading it around saying this is what he's doing. He's the one that's doing this and he's using music for this and you that's what they've been done and try to spin the fucking thing on me. Like I make music, like I fucking write music. I make music. I don't know what these people are saying in the lyrics. I didn't write the songs. I didn't produce them. I certainly didn't distribute them. So why am I being blamed for that sort of thing, innit? I don't like you, man, but anytime you man are ready, you know where I'm at. Like, you get me? You can't turn up when I'm here. You sneak in the house like rats. When I go to the shop and go anywhere, you come in the house and you break my shit and destroy my house and put shit in my drinks and that. And then you justify it as, oh, well, we can't get him to comply. Why the fuck would I comply with people who don't even want to let me know what is going on? How do you comply if you don't know what is happening? This is a sort of justification. That's why they cannot put it in court. They say, oh, well, he's not being prosecuted because they are writing it down for mental illness reasons. Bullshit. They want you to comply but don't want you to get the information. So, what exactly would you be complying to? Are you just going to go and say, yes, stick me with that needle and you don't know why? That don't make sense. But like I said, that's why they have to hide. Everybody in the community has realized to a degree that it's not really adding up what is going on here because why is his mum not saying anything? Why is his mum not telling him what is going on? Because he clearly has no idea what the fuck is going on. Because I wouldn't be digging through every Tom, Dick, and Harry and every fucking thing out there if I knew what was going on. And that's why I had to dig through everything.
It doesn't make anyone safer. It doesn't lower chances of individuals once they're released reoffending and returning recidivism, returning to prison. We know that it psychologically tortures them. It even being in solitary confinement one time changes the chemistry of their brain. We know all this, and yet it is an uphill battle to change the conditions for these prisoners.
The reason why they use solitary confinement is because why? You know why solitary confinement is used mainly in Europe, mainly in white countries, is because it's free research. You lock somebody in a room and then, oh, we put cameras in there because we need to safeguard the patient or the inmate. Yeah? It sounds good on paper, but then who sits and watch the camera? You know who sits and watch that camera? Doctors sat there watching that fucking camera every day to safeguard the patient. But does the doctor not learn from that patient? Does the doctor not see what that patient's daily life is? Does the doctor not see how often he sleeps, eat, drinks, and see how it affects his behavior over the time? Solitary confinement is free. Research is illegal. Solitary confinement is not to safeguard the community because, like this woman says, it has been proven to make people twice as violent as they really are and intended to be. It fucks with people, and they're well aware of that. So they're not doing it for safeguarding anybody because it put more people at risk. Because the longer you're isolated, what do you have you ever seen dogs? Yeah, you know, dogs that they chain up all the time and abuse all the time. You try going there, that dog says that dog don't bite you to pieces, but I mean, you go there, that dog, and that dog will rip you to pieces. Why? Because the dog's been alone for such a long time, been mistreated for such a long time. It does not trust anybody. It sees everybody as a threat. Simple as that. It sees everybody as a threat, and that dog will be extremely violent because now it's been used to being in that one little cage or chained to that post and fence. for the last 365 days. Yeah? It's been chained there. That's his safe space, yeah? Anybody comes within that safe space, you're going to be hurt. It's as simple as that. You are 100% going to be bitten to pieces by that dog because you're invading the one place it feels safe. Because guess what? It's been there the whole time. It felt safe there. You go into that space, that dog's going to try to chew you to pieces. Simple as that. So solitary confinement is nothing to do with safeguarding. And Britain loves putting people in solitary. Why? It's free. You fucking research, blood. They lock you in this padded cell by yourself and all, and then they got a camera just there watching you every 20. Go. How did they study diseases and stuff? Don't they put it under a microscope? Yeah. What is a camera? Isn't a camera a fucking microscope that records 24/7? I mean, these guys can't win, blood. I mean, you see, unfortunately for them, I'm the only person who figured it out. I'm the only person who figured that out. Man. This is solitary confinement. It's not safety. It's research. Because anybody has been put in solitary confinement has been deemed a fucking threat. Yeah, plain and simple. And who are the people who deem these people a threat? Who are they? Does anybody know what they're called? Does anybody know what their name? Does anybody even know who has the power to put somebody in solitary? Yeah, I mean, does anybody? I'd like anybody out there in the world, any of the general public, name one person who has the power to put you inside solitary confinement. It's the only thing in this democratic society where nobody knows who does these things. Nobody fucking knows, blood. Not even in the prison, nobody knows who authorizes it. It just fucking happens. Where a bunch of people come and show you in there. Nobody knows who authorizes these things. It's because they don't want people to know. Because it's usually a doctor. It's usually a fucking doctor, blood. And what people don't know about doctors, if you go through the history of psychiatrists, they are some of the most cruel and inhumane people on the planet. Proven history, fact. Go and check it for yourself. Go and check the history of psychiatrists and doctors and just the psychiatrists field in general. You know what I mean? Just go and check it for yourself. They're the worst people on the planet. They're horrible people. They're done. If you think a suicide bomber has killed more people than the psychiatric field, think again, just. What did Hitler do? What was Hitler? Yeah? Hitler employed the most psychiatrists in the history of mankind. Yeah, obviously not now in the 21st century, but in his time, he employed the most psychiatrists out there. He had a fucking mad amount of them. So when the Jews are coming talking about genocide and they were being gassed in chambers, they're not telling you what these people were. These people were doctors and fucking scientists. Bro. It was doctors and scientists who were gassing these people and putting them on into these inhumane situations. So the Jews like to scream about, oh, the Holocaust, this. But they're not even telling people the truth about the Holocaust. That what really was going on is they were being experimented on. And as a result of what the Jews did, across Europe you had the Nuremberg trials, where all of these doctors and psychiatrists fucking were done for experimenting on people, yeah? Doctors have even sewn people together just to see what would happen. These are the type of individuals we are. They want to say everybody are psychopaths and sociopaths. These men have sewed people together, blood. If you go and check the history, you'll actually find evidence where doctors have took two actual humans and sewed them together. So you know, have you ever heard about Siamese twins? Yeah, Siamese twins Siamese twins are basically conjoined twins, yeah? They are born adjoined to each other, yeah? They usually have to be brought into the world by C-section because you obviously can't, push that out, yeah? And what doctors did to try to study that was so fucking two random people. Where were they getting these people from to sew them together, blood? If you think about it like that, where were they getting these people that they were sewing together from? Guess what? People who were labeled as mentally ill, blood. That's what they do. I'm just the only person who figured it out. I mean, anywhere you find white people, you find eugenicists. It is a known fact. Anywhere you find them, you find it. And it's not to say all white people are into eugenesis. That's certainly not what the statement is trying to say. Because not all white people are doctors and scientists and researchers. So it's obviously not that. So before some of you overzealous people and easily offended people and people who are just looking for me to say something that you can fucking use against me, suck your mother, innit? And so, yeah, research that. These guys don't stand a chance here, bro. They don't stand. I'm the only person who figured out this what is going on here. To say, well, when you lock somebody in a room before CCTVs and cameras was a thing, yeah, who saw what went behind these rooms? When people are in isolation, they have gone. People have gone as far as ripping their own faces and skins off in isolation. I mean, smearing shit all over themselves in isolation. Yo, some horrendous things have happened in isolation. What I'm talking about, yeah? People go mad and flood toilets and pure shit and piss all over where they are. And they are kept in these conditions because who's there to help them? Yeah, I mean, you'd have never been in isolation in the first place if nobody cared. First and simple. That is number one on the agenda here. You've never been in that position if anybody cared about you. So you can see they target people who are not cared about. Plain and simple. You ain't got no family, no friends, no loved ones. You are prime real estate. And I'm the only prime real estate who figured it out. And plan to kill them on top of it. Because what are they gonna say in that courtroom? What's that fucking prosecutor actually going to say out of his mouth? He can't say shit. Because the moment he tries to say anything, when I start talking, everybody will realize that, oh my God, it's so true. Isolation is not to protect anybody, it's for free research. How do you think so many research is done? Yeah, so many various form of legal and illegal drugs. Yeah, so many surgeries, so many this. Where you think they're learning all these things from? You know what I mean? Where do you think they're learning all these different medical advancements from? Where do you think it's fucking coming from? You know what I mean? Because before they get it right, they obviously got it wrong, innit? Which means people died. And why don't we know about these people that's been killed under these researches? Why don't we? Guess what? These homeless people outside, oh, the government just casually wants to clean up the streets all of a fucking sudden. All of a sudden, they want to remove the homeless. You ever notice, yeah? There'll be just so many homeless people about. And then all of a sudden you don't see any of them till a different batch turns up and they turn up for a minute and then you notice again they go missing again. You just keep seeing the same pattern over and over and over. A group of them, you don't see them anymore. Nobody knows where they are. Yeah? Because when you live in a town and a city, you know who the homeless people are because you see them all the time. All of a sudden, you just don't see any more homeless people. And you're thinking to yourself, well, what's going on there? Then next minute, a different batch turns up. And because that's what they're doing with them, they're taking the homeless and experimenting on them. Even though they're fucking homeless, they're still human beings. They're experimenting on these homeless people. And guess what? They like to say, oh, it's delusions. Because that's all they've trained people say. Oh, delusion this, delusion that. But explain why John that you've seen for the last 10 fucking years on the streets of Greater Manchester, you ain't seen John in a while. Go ask yourself why, innit? You ain't seen John in a minute, innit? I'll tell you why. Or John is hooked up to somebody's laboratory table. Bro. I'll tell you why. You see John. John is hooked up to somebody's laboratory table. You ain't seen John again. And if by some miracle you see John again, John ain't the same, blood. By some miracle, you actually see John anywhere again. John is not the same. You're wondering what happened. John can't even tell you what happened to him, blood. Because you literally have what you call amnesia, yeah? And amnesia is basically memory loss, plain and simple. And something happens in the brain that causes memory loss. Yeah. So I don't know what the exact biological reason of it is, but it can be synthesized. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, it can synthetically be made. Yeah. So whatever that causes amnesia in people's brain, you would assume that they made some sort of synthetic version because everything, just like how they have synthetic weed, synthetic drugs, all these various forms of milk. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of synthetic stuff. You'd assume that they can do synthetic stuff when it comes to that. So John don't know what happened to him. John can't say what happened to him. Why? Because John was given something that made him forget. You see, John, and John's strange, blood. John's not acting right. You see all sort of people who wake up in hospitals and they don't have any memory, blood. And guess what? Who are we listening to? Who is telling us why these things happen? Oh, it is some very doctor is gonna tell you that oh he hit his head and he don't remember nothing. So the doctor has the power to fucking inject you with whatever he wants to inject you with and say you are mentally ill and he's treating you. And then the doctor now has the power to tell everybody that, oh, John don't remember because he had some form of brain injury. These guys have too much power, blood, like too much power. Way too much power, way too much. And unfortunately for them, the power that they have is now useless. All they can do is sneak in the door, really, that's it. And guess what? No doubt they're gonna manipulate the neighbors, the community, into believing and siding with them. So when they come into the house and they do whatever they do they broadcast what they're doing to the public? No, they don't. They broadcast why they're there and what's apparently wrong with you, but they don't broadcast exactly how they treat you. They don't broadcast exactly what medication they put you on. They don't broadcast the manufacturer of the medication. Nobody knows what you're being given and done. You're just being told, oh, you're being treated. Well, as they're watching you treated, you're getting worse and worse and worse over time. And then so that means the treatment isn't working. Or they're not treating you they're not treating you properly. Or it's ill treatment. I mean, this ill treatment is not, you know what I mean? Because you're very vague on what treatment you're being given, aren't you? You're facing ill treatment, blood. Nobody knows more than, oh, they come around telling the community and the neighbors, oh, that we're treating him or he's suspected of terrorism and he's this and that. But they won't come and show you what they're doing inside the house. They won't show it to you. It's simple as that. Yeah? Because whenever these things go on, it should be live broadcast to everybody. It should be. They're going to say, oh, it's going to undermine security. Whose security? Because you're sneaking in somebody's house, that person's security is absolutely gone. That person has no security. And people are suspected of crimes. So when you're suspected of crime, should your security be gone? No, you have a bunch of men and women who nobody can really identify these people. Nobody knows actually where these people actually come from, where they live, what they believe in, what they do, what they like. Nobody knows nothing about them, but they are saying they're doing it for security reasons. All right, cool. But while they're doing it for security reasons, your rights and security is been completely stripped, and it hasn't been proven in court that you are what they say you are. So if you are what they say you are, then it doesn't matter. But if you aren't what they say you are, then all they do is not prosecute you. That's it. and then you're never going to know who the fuck they are you? So you can imagine that the government's running around in these communities and countries, yeah, abusing people and doing certain things, and how they get away with it. Oh, you don't know who they are, they just don't prosecute you. You can't bring the case against the state because they're gonna say, well, where is your evidence that these people are coming inside of your house? Where is your evidence? Have you got any witness? You can't have any witness because they have went and told everybody that in your area, wherever you live, some negative thing about you. But nobody is going to be a witness for you. They're either going to be scared of you or they're going to just believe it or not care. One of the few. Yeah? Unless your neighbor went through the same thing at some point, nobody's going to help you. So guess what? They're making sure that you live in places where you won't find other people who have been through similar circumstances. They ensure of it. Why? They pick where you live. If they find some way of farming you into a particular area. Because guess what? The government knows everybody on their watch list. Yeah? They're going to keep them away from each other because they don't want them to unite with each other and come up with a plan and catch them. So they're going to isolate them individually, isolate them into individual communities, isolate them into individual areas, estates, blocks, buildings. They're going to always keep them apart because the last thing the government want is a bunch of people who are being abused, falsely accused of any crime, is to coming together. And because if you have more than one person saying it, it has to be looked into legally. And that's what they don't want. I like you, man. I'll talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. I never stop fucking talking until I catch your clock. Like, it's as simple as that. You won't like it. Man. I don't care who you are. You fucking will not like that. I don't care who you are, what's it, boy. You're simply not going to enjoy that. I like you, man. Bro. Come in. It's simple as that. Go away. No, man. As simple as that. I'll never stop saying it. Try something in it. That's what it. Try something as a result of what I'm saying and see what happens to you, innit? The enemy of my enemy is a friend, blood. I need some sort of friend, yeah. I can't just be living some isolated life, yeah. So it don't matter where that friendship come from. Because you have what you call what's it called? Stockholm syndrome, yeah. You have what you call Stockholm syndrome. And Stockholm syndrome is the opposite to that. Stockholm syndrome is when people who abuse you, yeah, they abuse you to the fucking point of where you need a friend and your abuser comes and becomes your friend, yeah, because you're so isolated, so lonely, so depressed, so feeling unloved, so beaten down and wore down that you're just going to be okay with these people after what they've done. And that's what they're trying, yeah. And I'll kill your guy, you get me? I will murder you, blood. Like as simple as the ever says, I will kill you. I mean, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I do not suffer from Stockholm syndrome, blood. I mean, I'm willing to go to prison and go inside that court and lose this case against whoever you people are. I can only assume that you are the British government. I've got the legal right to get that wrong if necessary. I don't know who you man are. Simple as that. I do not know who you people are. So I've got the legal right to assume and make allegations. Just like how you can suspect somebody of terrorism and or any offense and it turned out that you were wrong. When I'm wrong, that means I'll find the people who did it. But as it looks to my part, the fact that the British government is very silent and hoping the problem dies or goes away on its own. Yeah. Since that, I can only assume that I'm right. Or the British government is sat there waiting for the problem to just die on its own. And trust me, they're trying their best to figure out how to do it. I mean, I like you, man, bro. The enemy of an enemy is friends. So all hail Russia, yeah. I probably never thought it would have played out like this. You man probably thought you'd have never lived to see the day and someone sits in Britain and says this openly and publicly. And then the question we ask, well, none of us has ever seen these things happen before. Why is nobody doing anything about it? I mean, that would be the major question. Why is nobody doing nothing about what is being done said here? Why is the government ignoring somebody saying that, oh, all hail Russia? It's because they fucked up. And why? They fucked up, and then after fucking up, they try to push the thing to make what they were saying right. Why? Because they don't want to lose whatever it is they do. They don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want to lose their ability because once the program fails, that's the end of the program. All programs are done like that. No matter what they come up with, as long as it fails, as long as it proves to not be fair, correct, or I guess wrong at any state or point, then the program basically gets scrapped. And they don't want this program to scrap because why? They're abusive. And it's the only legal way they get to abuse people. So they definitely don't want to lose it. So they try to force me and entrap me and encourage violence as a result. But I obviously realized that that's what was going on. Me, I'm a defiant person by nature. Yeah? And if I don't want to do something, you can't let me do it. So the fact that I know that they tried to get me to, I guess, hurt people so that they don't lose the little bullshit program that they're doing, I refuse to hurt people. It's as simple as that. Because it's my version of being defiant to them. I am defying them by not doing it. It's defiance. Innit? Some people won't understand that, but trust me, that's what you're witnessing. It's blatant defiance. Because why would I be loyal to people who try to do this and try to say, well, you signed up for the military, blah, 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 blah. Fuck off. Nothing in the military contract said that. Nothing in the military contract say that you can use me in any way you fucking see fit. You don't say that. Because no job in the world is like that. You don't sign up to be a bank manager and then they tell you to clean toilets. It don't work like that. I like you, man, bro. Trust me. I say they cannot win what they're doing. Your kids will feel this problem if I don't find you, but I ensure that I do not suffer from Stockholm syndrome. And Stockholm syndrome is basically when you end up falling in love with your enemy or sympathizing with your enemy. You man made yourself the enemy, brother. It's as simple as that. I don't care what nobody has to say. You man made yourselves the enemy. End of the story. That's how I see it. So because I don't suffer from Stockholm syndrome, the opposite to Stockholm syndrome is siding with your enemy's enemy. It's only logical. And that's why they can't do nothing because they can't beat the logic. I mean, this is all logical. They cannot beat the logic. I do not suffer from Stockholm syndrome. What they did to me, I think it was wrong and I think I was abused. Nobody wants to explain what went on. So I've got the right to make up what I want to make up. I do not suffer from Stockholm syndrome. Because which is worse? Siding with somebody's political enemy or, well, having some emotional ties to, I guess, somebody who made you an enemy? Which is worse? I mean, none of them are good, but at least I got the choice to choose, isn't it? And I choose not to suffer from Stockholm's syndrome. And I choose, well, human isolated me. Well, we are social creatures, my friend. We all need a friend. And since I got no friend or no family that has my best interest at heart, then I find people with other interests in it. As simple as that. You man don't stand a chance. I'm simply smarter than you people. I'm simply smarter than you, country. Whether you like it or not, that's just the case. The whole Western world and beyond, you fucking know about what human are, bro. Because if I can't catch it, make sure other people know who you are. It's as simple as that for me. It means nothing else. If I can't fucking identify you and attack your flat for it personally, I'll let everybody know. It's simple as that. I don't care what nobody thinks or says. That is the case. Whether they dislike me, they will still know. If I cannot identify you, blood, I must use other people to do it, innit? Other people will know who you are. Other people would see you coming in and out of this house, and they would know. And they will all see you coming in and out of the house and realize, well, every time you man go in this house, you man are never finding anything. This has been going on for 15 fucking years, and after 15 years, you man can't come up with anything yet. Then they know I'm right. Simple as that, innit? You can't come up with anything after 15 years. Then why is it being done? Where does the end? Where does it end? And people would really realize that and say, wait, at some point, well, the guy needs to know. People would obviously think that at some point he does need to know what is going on here because you still haven't found anything. And you can't take people to court if you don't know who they are. So how am I going to go and get legal help and say what the government is doing this? The lawyer's gonna look at you funny, innit? The lawyer will look at you funny because they'll say, well, what government? What part of the government? There's so many variations within the government that can do these things, whether legally or not. So what exactly is the part of the government? Who are you? Is it Greater Manchester Police? Is it MI5? Is it GCHQ? Is it Social Service? Is it private investigator? Who the fuck is it? If I can't identify you, I'll ensure other people know who you man are. But simply, you man ain't smarter than me. But simple. You man ain't more clever than me. Not yesterday, not today. If I can't identify you, other people know who you are. It's simple as that. Innit? Why can't I fucking identify you? Other people who know who you are. No, they're not. You man are never going to be relaxed. Why can't I identify you and ensure others know who you people are? Because you have to go around and tell them. You have to go and say it to other people and say, oh, this is why we're doing this, and this is why we're fucking doing that. You have to. It only makes sense that you can't do it without the public turning a blind eye to it. Why they might turn a blind eye to my cries and woes and all of that, they still are identifying you people and they know who you people are. So where you man go after this, I guess this is the end of the program, whether you wanted it to be or not. By default. Yeah, when I have to come up with a new strategy, blood. It doesn't matter. You know, even I'm not smarter than me, but simple as that. I do not suffer from Stockholm syndrome, nor do I want to, nor would I even pretend that I suffer from any sort of mental health problem for any reason at all. So I don't suffer from Stockholm syndrome. And if you go and look at what Stockholm Syndrome is, it's identifying with your abuser. It's sympathizing with your fucking abuser. That's what it is. And you people have certainly abused me. You people obviously work within the government. Obvious as sin. So I don't suffer from it, so therefore I have to side with the enemy. It's simple. It's nothing political to me. It means nothing to me. It's just common sense. Because go and ask the prosecutor to how is he going to work out that way. What was the alternative? What was the alternative in it? Oh, spend the rest of your life alone because the government doesn't want to be caught for what they did, and they went out and lied to everybody on the planet and make people scared of you and have irrational fears about you. And every single stabbing and shooting that happens anywhere is blamed on you. Oh, it must be him. I can't witness to that. Even though it's not a chance here. But the law is common sense, majority of it, if you didn't realize that. Man, I'm not smarter than me, but hmm. Let's just look at Van Dyke. So I weren't controlling Van Dyke there. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I weren't controlling Van Dyke there. I weren't controlling that Van Dyke. I'm telling you, like, this is why they're doing all this. It's because they're trying to get me to commit suicide. Because what alternative is there? They can't fucking let me know. They can't let me see them because I know what they try to do to me. They can't let me go because I'm still going to look for them anyway. So they're obviously trying to push me to look at Van Dyke. Yeah, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Not do anything in this house? If I use social media, oh, he thinks he lives in America. If I watch TV, they're influencing people on the screen to do certain things. Look at this. Where is Van Dyke? Who is Van Dyke chasing now? I mean, if I use the game is abusing me. If I watch social media, I think I live in America. What am I supposed to do? Run away from England? And I don't know what went on. I don't know what is the extent of things you people did or have done to me. What am I supposed to do? Obviously, I'm hunting for life. Simple, innit? I mean, I'd like somebody who classifies themselves as intelligent and rational and don't have a mental illness or any delusion to come and tell me what the proper course of action is here. I would like them to come and tell me because what am I supposed to do? I do not know the extent of what these people have done to me mentally and fucking physically. Yeah? Never mind biologically wise. I don't know the extent. Nobody knows what the system is capable of. Nobody knows what the government is capable of. Nobody knows what the government can make you ingest. So what's the point of running? There's no point of running because you don't know what they do. I've done. You don't know what they have done. Why you know that it was certainly not good because they don't want you to know. That's it. It's simple as that. This might be England, but I am Collington. Remember that. Before all other names, that's who I am. What are they expecting me to do? They obviously did something bad that would be looked at as bad and viewed as bad, not only by me, but everybody else. To the point they themselves even know they did something bad because they don't want to be identified as a result. Because If they thought they did not do something bad, then they would have just owned up to it, because guess what? If it's nothing bad, it's no problem. If it's something bad, it's obviously an issue. Obviously, why they are hiding. And it's as simple as common sense. People only lie when they know they're going to get in trouble. Otherwise, they won't lie. You just tell the truth. Just like I'm here saying, all hail Russia. Why? Because I can't get in trouble for it. It doesn't matter what I say, I can't get in trouble for it. Because the simple notion is, do I suffer from Stockholm syndrome? No, I do not. And what is the opposite of Stockholm syndrome? They themselves didn't even know that, I can tell you that. And the opposite of Stockholm syndrome is siding with your enemy's enemy. So obviously, based on the situation, Russia would obviously make sense there. But so you have an enemy, your neighbor is an enemy, your neighbor and somebody else don't get along. You would go and make friends with the person that your neighbor don't get along. Obviously, it's scale and relative relevance to get. So the state would not be hiding and hiding the people behind this if they were doing something right. I obviously know that there is obviously levels of fuckery that they've done here. Levels. I'm just being nice by trying to word it in a inconspicuous or ambiguous way. I'm just actually being nice rather than coming out and saying the outright truth about the situation. I'm just trying to be politically correct, which I obviously am. It's a choice. Just like they made the choice to do terrible things, just like how they then made the choice after they are aware of what they were doing. Now they're being searched for and looked for, not by their friends and associates and colleagues, but the person they did terrible things to. That person is the one that's looking for them. So they don't want to be found because why? If they had a simple, rational, and reasonable explanation, they would just say, because the police comes and kicks off people's door all the time, regardless if you agree or fucking not. They come and kick your door off or not, if they want. So the fact that, excuse me, the fact that they ain't coming, excuse me, the fact that they ain't coming to kick this door off says a hell of a lot, doesn't it? The enemy of my enemy is a friend, but now your man enemy is Russia. So that's obviously where I'm looking for friend. I ain't running to Russia to get that friend. I'm gonna stay right here. Because I don't know what the extent is that you people have done. I don't know what you people have said, and nobody else knows what really went on behind closed doors because the information is solely controlled by you people. You people are telling them what you want them to know, and you people ain't telling me shit. So everybody who has an interest in what went on does not know more than the people behind it. And if they are caught, they are going to be attacked. They're very aware of that. They are very much aware that they are going to be attacked for it. Because what reason do I have not to attack them? I have no reason not to attack them. I have no fucking reason not to attack them. It doesn't care what justification they have here. If it was justified, and for it to be justified, it has to be legal. Plain and simple, innit? You cannot undermine something that is legal. Simple as that. It can't be undermined. I.e., people can be brought up on terrorist charges because it's legal. Simple. And if it's legal, you wouldn't have to do certain things in the first place. So therefore, it weren't legal. That's why you had to do certain shit. As simple as that, innit? It doesn't matter what they do, they still have to hide. And everybody sees you as soon as I go through the door. Everybody sees your team traipsing into my door, but you're never finding anything. And even if you claim to have found something, why can it not be used in the court as evidence? So therefore, you found nothing. So why do you keep coming in here if you're not finding anything? What are you in here for? Simple as that. Innit? What the fuck are you coming in here for? Cause you ain't finding nothing. You probably have surveillance camera in here. So why do you need to come in here still? You have surveillance cameras in here. You're surveilling me one way or the other. Yeah? You're coming in here months, years, every property I've lived. You're constantly coming in here. You don't see me talking to no friends, nobody that you can't identify. Yeah? Nobody that has my interest or is trying to protect me. Yeah, if you don't have none of these things, so what the fuck are you still coming in there for? There's a reason. It's because you're trying to drive man over the edge. It's simple. I do not plan to jump off of any cliff anytime soon, nor in front of any trains. And you'd only do that, go to that extent, is as if you man being caught doing something you shouldn't. You cannot discredit me, blood. Simple as that. I cannot be discredited. I'm too clever. You man can't discredit me. I'm simply smarter than you people, blood. Any action or notion you people can come up with, I'll walk over it and make it not even make sense. But like I say, I do not suffer from Stockholm syndrome. And the opposite of Stockholm syndrome, if you people didn't know, if you didn't people know what the opposite of is, it's siding with your enemy's enemy. You people made an enemy out of me. Where if you say I'm suspected of terrorism, you declared me an enemy of the state by default. That's what you've done. So like I say, until you explain what the fuck you people problem was and was doing here, then I have got the legal right to assume, because no, it's scientific fact, scientifically proven. If somebody has no human nature, if you don't have the information, your brain is gonna fill in the blanks on its own. Simple as that. That is actually medical and psychological fact. If you don't have the information, you will fill it in on your own. That's why when you go and do exams, and it says, "Oh, fill in the blank spaces." Why do you think them things are a part of the examination? It's because it's actual science. It's not random. It's not to test your knowledge. It's because of how people are. That's where the idea when you write them, you do these exams on paper, and it goes, "Oh, fill in the fucking blanks." Yeah. Sometimes they will suggest a word, or they'll leave it blank, and you have to put in something that makes sense. When they do that one, yeah, because they usually give you multiple choice answers in that scenario. But every now and again, they'll say you fill it in, yeah, based on a subjective and objective point of view. You fill in what you think makes sense there. Because what that is an open question. As long as the statement makes sense, you get the mark for it. That's how them things work. And that's not by random, it's because it has been psychology and science has proven that people do fill in the blank spaces when they don't have the information. So then they're going to use that as paranoia. So you can see they know what they did and they just didn't think somebody would figure it out. And they just got caught. It's as simple as that. The state don't want the police. I drive past the police all the time, not me. The police drive past me on the street all the time. I don't wear balaclavas. If anybody sees me, I never pull my hat down in my face. I'm not hiding. I don't need to hide. They're the ones that's hiding, blood. I'm sure when they're coming in here, they're coming in with hoodies over their heads and you can't see their face properly. Why? Why they hiding their faces if they're doing something legal? Why? Oh, they're security. What exactly is the security up to? I mean, what exactly is it the security of this country up to? And anything they do here, they do in other places. It's as simple as that. You man can't win what you man have done here and tried here. I don't care who you are, brother, and that's your biggest problem. I do not suffer from Stockholm syndrome, and I'm not running because what's the point of running? You don't know what I don't know what these people have done. I don't know what they've given me, what they've fed me with. I don't know what is going on. I have no idea what is going on. I mean, there's no point running away from these people because you don't know what they've actually done to you, and you running off to another country. Basically, they get away with it. That's why they want you to run. All these people who run away, that's what they want. They want you to run because that means they get away with what they do. And the more every time you run away, they keep getting away with it over and over and over. People think they're running to safety. They're not running to safety. They're letting these people get away with it. That's what they want. They want people to think, oh, they're running for a refuge. But there's no refuge because you don't know what the fuck you have been given. You don't know what the fuck they're putting in your food. You don't know what none of these things. You don't know any of these things. So what's the point running? Because you run to some other country. How do you know that you're not being tracked? And they are sat in some fucking room in England watching your every move and know exactly where you are. You don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows the extent of technology. Nobody knows. So running away, they get away with it because if you're not in the country, who the fuck's going to prosecute? You know what I mean, it's simple as that. You commit a criminal act and you run away, they come looking for you, don't they? They have Interpol who goes around the world searching for fucking fugitives. So when you commit a crime, they search for you. But you run away, you ever notice they don't search for you when you run away? Oh, he's just living in Russia. And that's the end of that. But if you commit a crime and go to Russia, Interpol is coming over there to look for you, isn't it? So how do people run to these countries and Interpol are going over there to arrest people anyway? They can't win. They can't win. I don't know what these people have done. The only people who know what they have done is the people who have done it, innit? And they do not want to answer what they have done, which blatantly suggests that they have not done something good or will be looked at as good neither by me nor any onlooker. So they obviously know is guilty by association. The man are guilty by association. And the government knows it that but they can't win. Because it goes to an international court anyway. And again, I'm not a rich man. I'm far fucking from being rich. Far from it. Yeah? So it's not like I can go for to pay for private doctors and private this and that. It's not like I can do any of these. I can't go and pay for private doctors and private stuff. So whatever they've done to me medically, whatever they've given me, and suggest that it is medication, who the fuck can prove it? Nobody can prove what I was actually given. Nobody can prove if what they gave me in them hospitals isn't the reason for my violent outburst. Because you'd have never seen any or heard any violence or threats of violence fucking prior to the medication, yeah. So there's not no chance here. Nobody can tell what they were actually giving me. Nobody knows. The judges don't know what the extent of medicine is. The doctors, only the doctors, and the doctors themselves don't even probably know. Because the government itself have secret scientists and researchers who are inventing all sort of shit behind closed doors. So the judge don't know what the extent of what scientific capability is and medical capability is. The prosecutor don't know. And if these people don't know, then you can assume the jury doesn't know. The regular person don't know. So exactly what I was giving, nobody can answer but these people. And I can say for certain a fact that I felt very strange over a number of years. Very strange. And I didn't have these issues before coming to England. Like in Jamaica, I've never had eczema. I came to England and all of a sudden I'm having eczema or having allergic reactions to shit. I've never had any allergic reaction to anything in Jamaica. All of a sudden in England, my skin's constantly breaking out and like these massive spots on my blood. And usually when you're a teenager, you get acne. You don't start getting acne after fucking 25, but that don't make sense. I used to remember sitting in my house, but I'm just scratching. I don't know why the fuck I'm scratching, but my whole skin's just in a rash. But I go to the doctor, They're giving me E45. And I'm saying, Doctor Boy, this can't be an external issue. This is internal. This is something inside of my system that's causing this issue. Because when it's external, yeah, it's like dermatitis. Usually, when something comes in contact with your skin, it was external, yeah. But nothing's coming in contact with my fucking skin. So what it's causing is obviously an internal problem. So like I say, I don't know what these people have given me, and nobody in the general public knows either. Only they know. Only they know what the fuck they have given to me. Only they know what they have given to me. It's simple. Nobody else can know. And they don't want to say what they gave to me. Obviously, that's why they're hiding. Which means guilty by association. They know they did something that's done something to me that they don't want to have to admit. Because if it goes in a court, the judge has to order some sort of what do you call it? What do you call that shit? The judge has to order what do you call it? Some sort of medical report, yeah? And the medical report will say what the fuck went on. The medical report will show something. And if it doesn't show something, then it's corruption. Because the doctors have to provide some reason why this man's skin constantly break out. And at that point, if the court orders it and they come up with the reason, why wasn't the reason figured out long before that? Because what? This man weren't reporting this inconvenience of an itchy skin and swelling up all the time for no reason. It'd obviously be caught lying. Yo! Yeah, yeah, man, no, I know. Fucking knew it, man. Fucking knew that was gonna happen. I said these boys can't win this. Like these people. Oh, I like to say these people and these boys they can't win. I mean, what is somebody supposed to do? Sit in isolation as a result of whose actions? The people who are around me before, I can 100% prove that something went right about who these individuals were. When anybody likes that or dislikes that, I don't care if you want to say I'm a snitch. I can't identify the control group, and if I can't identify you, then I'm gonna search for you. I'm certainly smart enough to figure that out. How? How? Oh, penalty. I'm saying, how did he fucking stop that? Though? Did he save the last one? Alright. Hmm. Come on, Loftus Cheek. I think Benessa is better. Ah, come on now. Come on, Ronaldo. Come on, Ronaldo. Come on, Ronaldo. You coming through the middle. Lovely thing. Yo! I knew you know. Fucking knew you were gonna do it. Kick it away. I say, no, but they don't want to explain what the fuck went on, what the accusation is. Because after 15 years, whatever an allegation or accusation, after 15 years, you must be able to prove it. You get me? It's simple as it. After 15 years, if you can't prove something after 15 years, you're incompetent. And you shouldn't even be a part of whatever you are doing anyway. You should retire by default. It's obviously incompetence. So the fact after 15 years, they have found nothing more than speculation. And speculation is more objective than actual subjective. Because objective is your viewpoint, subjective is you looking at something. So whatever they're speculating or whatever the allegation, suspicion, or accusation is what they think. And if they just have the power to just, based on what they think, just to fuck somebody up and fuck them over, and then when it doesn't work out based on their viewpoint, they then ruin their lives and isolate them, and then they're not just sat waiting for the problem to just die off itself. This might be England, but I don't. England is just a piece of rock floating on some water. But it's people who did that, not the country. And that's what I believe 100% based on factual evidence and my own research that they wanted me to hate the people. And I'm no fool. You can't just go around hating people for the actions of a few. And that's what they intended on happening, which means they have done stuff like this before. It's simple. Simple mathematics. It simply means they have done stuff like this before where they want an individual to dislike the people or the community. Ul- Excuse me, ultimately leading to them attempting to hurt people, ultimately leading them to send their police to shoot in the street. I mean, ultimately that's what it leads to. And they thought they were clever than me. That ain't working out for you, man. But why? Because you're not as smart as you possibly start with. And Delta is going to play a major role because in the end, what happens? Whatever happens as a result, she sat by and heard. I assume she hears the things I say. I am only assuming. I don't know. And then if she's not hearing it, why is the government hiding it? So if she's not hearing it and the government's hiding it from her, what is her role then? Is she going to come and say, sue you people for wrongful death and then take money as a result of my death? Then that's a scam. That means humans set that up. So even if I drop dead tomorrow for any action I take or don't take, and she goes after the government for wrongful death or whatever, or negligence or whatever the fuck you man wanna call it, yeah? She shouldn't collect that money. She should say, I don't want that money. I just want justice for my son. And don't take any payment. That's what she should do. Because the moment she collect money, it means she knew that she was getting money out of it. That's why she said nothing. And that's only fair, isn't it? I say you man were thought that you man are smart, but like I don't know who put you man under them delusions to think you man were clever. Like our pussy certainly are not. Simple as that. Wherever this plays out, she should not be allowed to claim any money, and I hope the public, whether they care or not, watches her and ensures that oh, the moment she tries to claim any financial money or gain from this, they know that what I'm saying about her is true. I mean, that's it. I hope they all watch her. And the moment she tries to get any financial gain from this, it means I was telling the truth about her the whole time. That she was a part of it. She was not a unwilling accomplice. She knew exactly what she was doing. And no matter what happens, you man can't win. Because I'm going to the shop in a minute. By the time I go to the shop, these pussies are going to come into the house. They're not breaking into the house. They're not sneaking into the house. They've got key. This property is owned by the council. They've got keys to the property. So they're not breaking into the fucking house. You ring the police and you say, oh, you think people are coming into the house. They're going to say, well, according to the law, there's not much we can do because there's no signs of a break-in. And they're right, it makes sense. Which means it's the government that's coming into the house because they would know the law, know that the break-in is going to cause an investigation. So they obviously go and get keys. Whether they're obtaining that key legally or illegally, it's not really my concern. If it's legally, then there's paperwork. Simple as that. If it's being done legally, there's paperwork. I mean, it's simple as that. If it's legally done, then there's paperwork. So these people who don't want me to find them, you can only assume the reason why they don't want to be identified. Because if I identify them, then I automatically put a subject request act in, or even a freedom of information act against them, and get the paperwork associated to me, and get the statistics of how often this plays out, how often people say these things about these anonymous figures. So you can see why they're really hiding themselves is for me to not get my hand on the documents, because that's obviously what it would lead to. So they're not just hiding themselves for the mere fact of it, they're hiding themselves because they're obviously lying on paper. And I know for a fact 100%. Whatever is this association, accusation, or reason behind it, they're fucking lying. Now, I'm no angel, but nothing I have done in this world could prompt this level of, I guess, what's the word now? Reaction. Yes, it could. There's nothing I have done that could prompt this high level of reaction from the state, because I'm sure MI5 has better things to do. So they're obviously lying. They're obviously fucking lying, innit? So I know for a fact, I know the things that I've done. And if I thought I was doing something shady, that this level of action or reaction could be taken in retribution or anything, I would have never said nothing. I'd have kept fucking quiet, bro. Because why would I incriminate myself further? Because I know that I'm doing something wrong. I know I'm not doing nothing. I know I did nothing but smoked a few splits and fucked few of these little girls around here. Innit? I did nothing more than that. Yeah. And the last time I checked, I ain't never raped a soul in my life. Never. I would never rape. I don't condone it. Yeah. And me, I'm a handsome enough guy. You get me? If the scale on one to 10 of people being attractive, yeah, at its very least I'm a 5. At its very least. So if I'm at the very least I'm an average looking person, I can get between 1 and 5. I don't need to rate. At its very least, if I'm a 5, I can get anywhere from 1 to 5. Innit? You know what I mean? I don't have to rate, but you know what I mean? Sucking the mother, innit? What they wanted me to do is come out and apologize and all these nonsense. And you don't even know what you just be apologizing, which you're assuming guilt. That's what they wanted. Want me to assume guilt. And then you're like, oh, I didn't do that. They're like, well, why were you apologizing? Because they're cons. They would know that. And that's what they would do to you. Oh, why were you apologizing? Knowing that you was meant to apologize or being scared. And that's what they would have done to you. Know that you're apologizing about the situation, being fearful of the situation and apologizing for that reason, and then they'll fucking make it look a certain way, knowing that they're the ones who made you afraid in the first place to force the apology. I don't like these guys, but I can't trust them. The defense is shit because your defense is nothing but entrapment. What you might classify as being a defense here on whatever was going on here is entrapment. 100%. I don't know what is going on. I can only speculate, and it can't be good. That's all that matters. I'm 100% sure it's not good. Equalizer, what did he even score? I mean, I can just speculate what is going on and go through any number of reasons of people who could possibly gain access. That's it. That's all I can do on that front is figure out the people who could possibly gain access for any number of reasons at all, whether legitimate or illegitimate. That's it. What can I damn sure say without a reasonable doubt that it's not good? I mean, that's all I can justify. I can justify to say I have to figure out who these people are by going through the rat maze of who can do this and who would have the ability legally to do it. Because it can't be illegal because they've got a key. So it has to be done on some principle of legality. Now this guy has 29% of the boards, and for some reason he's leading me to now. That's a bad blood. No, I can't attack you. I can't move the control. Some reasons I got 52% or 51%, whatever it said. And you got 29%. Look, every time I pass the ball, it goes back to the. Yeah, 3 headers this guy scored. My Salah has not broken into the box once. And he's playing wing. I played what? All the 20 games with him. Offside. Every time I pass the ball, it goes to them. Every time I tackle, it goes out for a throw. You score three fucking headers, and I got through one time it's offside. Look, right back to it. Okay, man. And these guys are good players. These guys are as bad as the state and the government who's behind it. It's all the same. It's connected. It's blatantly connected because it's the same thing. They can't win. They can't beat me. Neither intellectually or even legally. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Yeah. Every pass he goes back to. He hasn't misplaced one pass yet. Just look at this kid, man. He hasn't misplaced one pass yet. Can't push him off the ball. Can't stop this guy. I don't know what. Look at my Van Dijk, bro. My Van Dijk just can't push anybody off the ball. He can't tackle. Well, I say whatever everybody knows. Everybody also knows that. Well, why don't they want him to know it? If it's the truth, why can't he know what he's done wrong? It's simple as that, isn't it? If he would know what he has done wrong, and this man clearly don't know what he's done wrong. Let's do it. You just can't stop the guy, can't tackle the guy. All of a sudden, I'm unable to tackle. And what is he making changes for? I can't understand what would be the point of making changes. He's four up, and there you go. Some white boy with his blue eye. I don't know how they get them. I don't know how they change that thing. You know, like the display picture. I've tried to change my display for such a long time. Yeah, and I just cannot get that display picture change. So I'm gonna attempt to change it after this game. This is the last match I'm playing. I'm gonna attempt to figure out how to change the display picture. I'm gonna attempt to change the display picture after this one. I'll show you. It won't allow me to change. And display picture is done by Xbox. Not only my FIFA game is fucking with me. Mortal is every game I have is fucking with me. Not only that as well. So whatever everybody thinks is going on, what do they actually know about behind the scenes? And that's why they can't arrest me because whatever went on, where did they get that information from? Because I weren't making YouTube videos prior to 2021. And this has been going on long before. So again, where did they get any information from? And are these people credible who gave the government this information? Yeah, I mean, that's the question, Wherever these people come from, are these people credible? I.e., have they got any criminal records, criminal association, anything like that? And that's why they don't want me to know. Because I would know who they associate with and don't associate with. And why are they snitching on me? So you just be a snitch free for all. And what would the government do as a result of a snitch free for all? A wild west of snitching blood. Yeah, yeah, information. I can't win this pursuit. I mean, It will be a long list of snitching because the moment I identify that anybody snitched on me, bro, trust me, I'm a snitch back. Bro. It's an eye for an eye, innit? The moment I identify that one, that's what they don't want. They don't want it to become that sort of thing where the people they have used are now having their business exposed, which means they have to investigate them by default. And if they don't investigate them, why are they not choosing to investigate them? It's because them people will turn and snitch on them. It's a revolving door really for them, innit? It's a revolving door for them. I do like bombastic and a few people. You know? I just walks past my keeper and keeper isn't there. Hmm. Well, I can't. Watch me now. So that big old mist that you saw at the end, notice it isn't there? Notice no save, not one save. How do you go one game and not one save has been made? Look, not one save is on the fucking thing, not one. I like you, man, but I won't stop violating you, man, because of it. Yeah, so might really performance, matchbox, yeah. Position, shooting, defending, saves. So two saves for me, one save for him. So where's shooting and shooting? So a total of 20 shots. Yeah, 7 and 13 is 20. I'm telling me, a total of 20 shots have been kicked. And on my side, I've only got 2 red bars, which mean 2 misses. Stop that. I've only got 2 red bars, which is 2 misses. Yeah, 2 red bars. That's two. That's 2 misses. Yo, get off it. Yeah, 2 red bars. That's 2 misses, and he's had 3 misses. So everybody shots just going off target in that one. Alright, if you watch this here, just watch how this plays out. 6, 6, 22, 31, 41. So he scored all 4 of them back to back. I now come and score 3 back to back. I score, yeah. I come now and score 4 exactly. So just watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1. So you can see that's clearly a pattern. He scored 4, I scored 4, and he scored 1, and I scored 1. Where's the own goal? Why is it not showing the own goal? Why is the miss not on there? Why is the own goal not on there? I mean, but you can see that this is all rigged. This is a pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1. It's a pattern. So I'm not playing a game. This game just sat here playing me. And let me see what is a guy's eye color is. So that's clearly some blue eye white, man. And this is another one. And this is some Asian guy, yeah. So there's some Asian kids. So what I'm gonna do is say fuck Asians and fuck black people. I hope we can fit that. So I'm gonna give you something to do something about. Ban the account. It's simple, innit? Simple ban the account. It can't get any worse than it already is. Can't get any worse than it already is. So you can see that they have what you call they somehow uploaded them pictures. I'm gonna try to upload pictures. I'm gonna try to change my game attack picture to something I want. So it says upload a customized image. Yeah. Due to suspension, you cannot customize images. I've never been on my ship before. Innit? I've tried so many times. You man want something. You want to cause issues or cause major issues. So there you go. Can't get 11 wins. Can't get 14. Can't get 13. So whoever these people are, they've somehow gone to this company and Xbox I'm trying to tell them shit about me. They're exploiting me. These gaming companies are exploiting me just the same. Because if you look at it, when I play the things that they do, they know how it affects people psychologically. So these gaming companies are doing this to the game and watching how it's affecting me psychologically and watches how I behave as a response to what the game is. So it's research. And I will attack these guys. I don't care if you're a group of Asian, blacks, and Africans and whites. I don't care how many of you are. Because it still goes through that court. And your court is going to have a very difficult time not dragging you people in there. Because I know that's what the plan was. Never that it would have gone to the court and you people would have never been brought up. Because I was never meant to realize that whole thing. But you people weren't meant to be brought up in that courtroom. And then you'd have put some stupid video out there about the interrogation. Because the plan was to put that interrogation fucking out in the public, me not knowing what went on. So therefore I never said anything in the interrogation. And then you'd have put it in there of me trying to justify this and say, oh, I didn't do that without not saying nothing. Because I found out about you little cunts. You obviously know it will be said in that investigation. So you don't even bother want to fuck around with the prosecution. Because that was the intent. To fucking put it out there, me not knowing, because if I didn't know, I wouldn't have said anything. Oh, let's go in, man. You're lucky enough, that cage. Just go do something else in it. Just run around the house. You got the whole house. Man. Just go on. No. Oh, people are annoying me anyway, bro. I don't know why. Now you're coming to just pile on with the annoyance. I say you can go bite something up in it. You got toys, you bite that in it.
Now, Kiki Palmer. Another headline. Her ex-boyfriend alleges he was the abuser. Okay, so this comes weeks, I don't know, months at this point after he stepped forward. He says it's her, not him. According to court documents obtained by Page Six, Kiki Palmer's ex, Darius Jackson, filed to get a restraining order against the Note star, with whom he shares 9-month-old son, Leotis, over allegations she was verbally and physically abusive toward him during their 2-year relationship. And I can't wait to hear what you say about the timing on this one, Ray, because when I think of a
Start licking.
restraining order, let's pause and get into it now. When I think of a restraining order, Rigana, I think of imminent danger, but perhaps you will educate me on the law and when it becomes necessary and who can get granted what after the fact. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Anybody can get restraining order.
Proof of imminent danger, and temporary restraining orders are issued quickly without the same level of the same levels that are required for other rulings in court, because you have to show that I am in immediate danger. And in the cases of domestic violence, you have to show that there's been a documented pattern of abuse, that for your own safety, you need this ruling to happen quickly, and then there'll be hearings on it later where more evidence can be presented, and you can get more into the arguments on the merits. But it's an issue where a judge will look over and determine then and there if there is validity in their eyes to granting this temporary restraining order. And in the case of Kiki Palmer, that is what happened. The judge examined the petition and granted it on the basis of what she presented. And we saw stills, remember? She has security cameras in her home, and unfortunately, Jackson came in and got aggressive, physically aggressive with this stuff. And so based on what you're saying, I take it that maybe 2.5 years ago is not imminent danger, but we'll go through some of what he's alleging. So one incident, which allegedly took place in August 21, that's a month after they started dating, Jackson, age 29, claimed that an agitated and aggressive Palmer, age 30, punched him in the face at a birthday party. He claimed in the docs that her friend, Lenoria Addison, tried to stop the former Nickelodeon star from allegedly hitting Jackson. Jackson then attached screenshots of alleged text messages from Palmer where she apologizes for hitting him. "I'm sorry for hitting you," the message read. Page 6 of the recording. In another incident from October 2021, Jackson claimed that Palmer violently gripped his arm, demanded he stay with her after he tried to go to a nearby restaurant to watch a football game. We exchanged a text about this incident, and I sent her a photo of the mark she left on my arm that night. He stated in the docs, along with an image of the marks on his arm, an alleged text from Palmer in which she said, "We're done," and called him childish. March 2023, this year, former fitness instructor claimed that the mother of his child had been drinking alcohol and blamed him when the drain was not working properly in the bathroom. Jackson claimed the Hustlers actress called him a, quote, bitch, a loser. I tried to de-escalate the situation, and she became more enraged. I left the house to avoid further conflict. That night, she sent me several emails claimed in the docs, attaching copies of the alleged emails from Palmer as evidence. Page 6 again. Jackson stated he and Palmer began dating in July 2021. Excuse me. Officially ended things in early October 2023. After the split, he claimed that he went over to Palmer's home to pick up their son. However, Leotis was not there when he arrived. I went upstairs to ask Palmer where he was. Jackson claimed in the docs. She was on the phone with her mother on speaker and refused to answer where Leotis was. Her mother immediately directed threats and profanities at me. I reported the conversation because I could sense that Palmer was becoming verbally and physically abusive. Jackson also included a transcript from the recording as evidence in which Kiki's mom, Sharon Palmer, referred to Jackson as a quote punk and alleged that he and his family had mental problems. Jackson's filing comes more than a month after Palmer was granted a temporary restraining order against Jackson after she claimed that he physically abused her. Under the order, Jackson is required to remain at least 100 yards away from both Palmer and Leotis, whom they welcomed in February 2023. In her November 9th filing, Palmer included screenshots of home security footage showing many instances of Jackson's physical abuse, like this screenshot showing Jackson allegedly choking and body slamming Palmer in her home, February 13th, 2022. And this screenshot of Jackson allegedly grabbing at Palmer's neck and face at her home on November 5th, 2023. Throwing her over a couch, Jackson has denied the allegations of domestic violence. Last week on her Instagram, Palmer posted a short video with the caption overlay quote, "When reality TV makes everyone believe all celebrities' lives are just one big marketing strategy and scheme, but my life is truly unraveling at the seams, and I just wear trauma like a Dolce & Gabbana coat because Sharon didn't raise no me."
Oh, fucking hell, man! Let loose!
Experiencing domestic violence, if you or someone you know, so many people out there are experiencing domestic violence, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline, the number 1-800-799-7233. You can get confidential support. You can Google that, and that number will come up. You can call it 24/7. Goodbye, this is Messy.
He came in on fire, actually, right? But he stunk.
As a woman, I want to disclose I have bias here, okay? Because I know what this kind of relationship looks like so many women do. And it's made about me, but I'm just telling you the which I'm looking through this. She outed him. He said, "I'm protecting our child. By the way, if we're broken up and it's not amicable," which I think that's something both sides can agree on. It's not amicable. I don't know why you're walking upstairs in my house.
Fucking hell, man.
Where your son is. If his version in that instance is true, why are you walking into my house acting like you own it? We're not together, and we need some boundaries. But this tit for tat It felt like to me he was attempting to embarrass her for perhaps being abusive at worst, or likely being human involved in a traumatic relationship from the start. Absolutely. And also, I'll preface what I'm about to say with there are men who are the victims of domestic violence. It is horrible when it happens to anybody. That being said, women are disproportionately likely to be the victims of domestic violence at the hands of men. And Kiki Palmer has provided photographic evidence of the domestic violence she suffered at the hands of Darius. In those photographs we showed you, in evidence she provided to the court, she provided to the public as well, because he's been attempting to smear her name in media while she had attempted to keep this quiet from the very beginning. This is a very common tactic, because in a lot of situations of domestic violence, there will be points where the abused, the victim, will lash out at their abuser. And attorneys that represent abusers will latch on to those moments to try to change the narrative that the abuser, their client, was actually the victim. It's a very common tactic used by abusers, not just interpersonally to reframe the issue, not just within the abusive relationship, but in court. And time again, we see the victims of domestic violence responding to the abuse they've suffered, being the ones to get arrested, being the ones to get charged. Now, Kiki Palmer, the celebrity, has a large fan base and the ability to well articulate her side of the story. But that being said, she's a woman, and on top of that, she's a Black woman, and there is rampant misogynoir in our society, and people who will immediately want to blame her for the abuse she suffered and believe the man. We saw the same thing with the Megan Thee Stallion being shot by Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez never had a fan in the world until he shot Megan Thee Stallion, and then all of a sudden, all these losers came out of the woodwork to defend him, and they're still defending him despite the fact that he was found guilty in a court of law. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see people coming out of the woodwork to side with Darius in the situation, even though we have, and as we showed on the show, the photographic evidence of him choking her very violently. And I'll just add that some of the things he added into his restraining order request, her calling him a bitch or a punk ass, are not grounds.
So right, okay. So I don't know if the YouTube just picked that up, but this woman just said that people that defense use tactics and reverse psychology. Obviously, that's what lawyers are for. They're supposed to argue your case whether you're wrong or right. That's just how it is. But then, see, this is where these guys would lose. Where do you get the picture from if you don't have video? I mean, it's quite simple. Where do you get the picture from if you don't have the video? So in these courtrooms, I tell you, some of these lawyers are dodgy, innit? Because you ain't getting no picture of nobody inside any house without a fucking video rolling. Yeah, I don't know anybody in this world who only takes snapshots. I don't know anybody in this world, but I don't know anybody in this world. Even in the public, nobody's just gonna take a picture of you. Yeah? Why photos used to be used in courts, yeah? And they change it for a reason, yeah? They change it to video evidence. Why? Because a photo does not show the full story. So what these people do, what I've realized after extensive research into allegations, not based on bias, not based on misogyny, not based on any sexual principle, ideology, nothing like that. Just a general observation. Yeah, is that people what they do is they'll provoke you. What they'll do is provoke you and then show snapshots in the courtroom. Yeah, and maybe this happens behind closed doors and these cases aren't public. Maybe I'll put it down to that. Yeah, maybe that happens. Maybe that happens behind closed doors in a courtroom, but it certainly does not happen where it's public. Yeah. So who in their house? Who puts surveillance cameras in their house and only take snapshots? Why would you set your camera to only take snapshots? You see that is quite simple, you know. Like whether you are wrong or right, as a lawyer, I defend your client and get you off easily and discredit this individual and their photo easily. In a public setting, you can argue that yeah, okay, snapshots would make sense. But in a private setting, who the fuck has cameras just in your house just taking snapshots? You just have a video, you just have CCTV. And then if you have CCTV, you come to the court because their lawyers would tell them that, whoa, based on what was happening prior to that situation, you can't show that video. So what is best to do is let's just show screenshots and snapshots of the incident. So i.e. what they're going to do is simple. Snapshot or screenshot the video of when you hit that person, but not when they hit you, if that makes sense. So the video is 10 minutes long, or if the video don't go in their favor or show that you were some way provoking this individual, and that still won't get that person off, but it would discredit the individual's character and they won't get maximum punishment, nor will they get a maximum sentence nor maximum compensation based on that they provocate. Because the lawyer on the upper side would just say, no, this woman or this man would be aware that, oh, if she provokes this man or this woman, that person retaliates violently, they can gain compensation of it. So you can see they would argue that they're trying to scam the compensation scheme, scam the victim scheme, and yeah, that sort of thing. So you can see the argument would be made. So instead of to avoid that scenario, what they do is take in screenshots. But me as a lawyer of the person who is either guilty or accused of domestic violence, and the only reason why I know this for myself is because I also was accused of it, and the police didn't want to take it to court, but somehow it's on a police file. Yeah, if a court happened, I don't know because I weren't there, and I don't know what lawyer represented me in court. I am not aware of any of this, but it somehow is on my police file. Section 47 ABH, which is GBH is grievous. So GBH is like you stab the person, something. ABH is slightly different. You harm the person in some physical way, some bruising, some something, yeah. And that's on my police report. Yeah. But the yo, get out from under there. Get the fuck from out. Out. Sit out. 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 You left. Out. Yeah. So what I would do as that lawyer of that person who's accused of any side of it, guilty or innocent, I would ask for the actual footage and ask, well, why did their defense or their solicitor choose to put a screenshot? Because what scenario do you have where pictures are taken and not videos? I'd like to know. I mean, I personally would like to know what situation you could find yourself in where you are being physically harmed and abused. Yeah? Dog, stop leaning on the thing. Yeah. What situation could you find yourself physically harmed or abused? Yeah. Where you had the time to take a photo and not a video. I'd like to know where could that be done and how could that be done? Because I'm obviously an idiot. I mean, I'm obviously a gigantic fool. And I do not know anything, nor do I have common sense to say if you're an individual or inside a house and somehow you manage to obtain a photo of your abuse, how do you do that? Because if you know the cameras are there, yeah, it's more likely that that person either don't care the cameras are there or that person doesn't know the cameras are there. So either way, you know that the camera is there, regardless of what happened. You fucking know that camera is there, innit? Yeah? Cool. So if you know the camera is there, the individual doesn't know the camera is there or even knows, you get a snapshot of that person hitting you, choking you, punching you. How do you activate that camera to take snapshots instead of a video? How would you do that? And obviously, that would discredit them in this. To say, well, there was obviously a video, but you and your defense lawyer thought it would be in your best interest not to show the video, but just show the still image of this man or woman hitting you in some sort of way. But me, as the defense lawyer, what I would argue is release the full fucking footage. Let us see the full video because you're not this is not a surveillance team inside the house. Yeah, you don't just get cameras where it's motion detected and it's just snapping pictures. You rarely find stuff. They do exist, but you'd rarely find an individual with that. And any fucker out there that's gone and purposely bought cameras that just take still snapshots rather than video, they're dodgy. Because why? They fucking know. Yeah? They know for 100% fact, yeah, what their intent is. Yeah, they know what their intent is, and I get anybody off. I get anybody off of any case, any case. Why? For a very simple reason. Why do you have snapshots? You know what I mean? Why do you have snapshots instead of a video? Because where did you obtain that? I mean, where could you have obtained that picture from without the video? So, which means you could show dishonesty on these individual parts, yeah, by only releasing the snapshot of it. You could show that there's an agenda because if a person committed the crime, there would be no need to manipulate, yeah. And I'm not quite concerned that this is what they did. I'm quite concerned. I bet you look like Tottenham. uh, I mean, yeah, I bet you look like fools, bro. Because where do you get that picture from? I mean, that's as simple. That's all I'd have to do, Nicole. What that would do is not only discredit them and show that they're manipulating the situation, because there's something in the actual video that would prove that they are dodgy in some way. It would prove that you were entrapped. It's it's simple would prove it, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's simple would prove it. Yeah, it's simple would prove that. I would be a very good defense lawyer, very very good, because based on what I've seen here and heard here, is that case would be too easy to discredit that person who uses the video. Because I tell you what, 100% fact, if the video was in their favor, you would see the whole fucking thing. You won't get some snapshot because the snapshot just proves that they did do something, but it does not prove why. So, i.e., she was punching your face up, or he was punching your face up. You then retaliated and kicked away her feet, or grabbed her by the neck, or him by the neck. They ain't gonna show that video because it would show that you was the one who were doing it first. So you can see how police officers are malicious, and even prosecutors are fucking malicious because guess what? You weren't videoing them, so the evidence is against you. Yeah? Obviously, the defense lawyer should be capable of asking simple, where is the full fucking photo? Where is the full video? The defense lawyer is simple, because it's never going to be the prosecutor who's going to ask for that. The prosecutor or the accuser's lawyer would be the one to show the photo. It would always be the defense to say, no, no, no. How did you obtain a fucking photo? Simple. There's no logical explanation for that because why? Why would you go out and buy a goddamn camera that only takes snapshots? You're obviously dodgy in some way because where do you go and get that from? That's not just out there, and nobody just wants pictures because why? Videos are much easier to deal with. It's just one continuous situation, yeah, where the what happened before, what led up to what is all on video. Cool, yeah. But when you come with a photo, it's just a photo. A photo does not that's saying, oh, a picture says 1,000 words. Yeah. But a video says 10,000 words because what you see in that photo does not mean it is fucking true. You know what I mean? It's simply people can put assumptions, yeah, and context to a video. So i.e. I'm accused of hitting a woman, yeah, and a picture starts circulating of me punching this woman in the face. Cool. So how did I get into the vicinity or arm's length of that woman? Why weren't there no pictures leading up to that? So you can see where people can trick you into certain things and give context to certain things. Because like I said, if I was a defense lawyer, even if you're guilty, I'd get you off of that clean as day. But what I'd go for, what I'd go after and prove, is that no, no, no. Something happened in that video prior to that person lashing out. And you people did not want that to be seen by the court, the judge, and the jury why you showed a picture. Show us the fucking video. Guess what? They ain't gonna want to show that video. They ain't gonna have to show that video. Well, how did you obtain the picture? Because they would have to literally explain how that photo was taken. Yeah? Because most domestic violence, yeah, does not happen in front of people, it happens behind closed doors, i.e., just you and one person inside that house. Yeah, cool. If there are witnesses to it, yeah, then there's no need for a photo because the witnesses would have been there, and depending on the severity of that situation, the witnesses will play a role. And most time, people who have nothing to do with something, yeah, will be honest about what they saw. If you actually came in drunk and belligerent and start smacking your partner around, then people would more likely say. Again, we are talking about people who are neutral. Yeah, we are talking about neutrality here. We are not talking about you being around your partner's family and you are being abused by your partner. Their family is going to take their side. We're not talking about that because you'd be stupid to put yourself into situations like that, given that you know that the person is abusive. Yeah. Well, again, it will be simple. Where did the photo come from? Because the photo has to be taken from some sort of camera. And every camera now, name one camera you don't have video capabilities of. I mean, for the last 20 years, pretty much every camera can do video. The quality might not be very good, but it does videos. I get anybody off them things easy. Easy, very easy, too easy. This whole thing, what they've tried here is way too easy for me, like way too easy. It took me a second to realize that. I said, well, if I was a juror and somebody showed me a picture, I don't know if jurors are allowed to object. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. But as a defense lawyer, I'd say, well, show us the video. Where is the actual video? Oh, they don't have video. Well, how did he obtain that photo? Was somebody else in the house? It is not a known pattern or trait or behavior for abusive people to abuse people in front of others. It's not very known. Usually, abuse is done behind closed doors where nobody else sees. Yeah. So if a girl went and showed a picture of me smacking her, yeah, people should say, but well, how did he get that picture? How was this picture taken? That's it. And I guarantee they would clam up, sweat will start running down their cheeks and faces, because any answer is going to lead to, well, show us the full thing. Any fucking answer, any answer they give would lead to that, or somebody else took the picture. Who was the person that took the picture? Yeah, I mean, it will always come down to that. You know? Who the fuck took the picture, bro? They get me in it. Mm. That's what I would go after is who took the picture. Yeah, I'd always go after that part. How was this picture obtained? Because they're definitely going to fuck themselves over one way or the other with that answer. Because whatever happened, the person who took the picture, if that person is connected to you in any way, shape, or form, then you can argue that it is a biased point of view and the witness is biased because as the person is connected to you, it's more likely that they're going to be biased in their account. Yeah, simple as that. If the person is a random person, then you have to question their motives, and you would be able to see how if the person is random. So if this happened outside, you could argue that it's a random person. Yeah. If it happens behind closed doors, it can't be a random person. Yeah, I mean, it can't be a random person inside. Yeah. So you can argue that it can't be a random person for numerous reasons. Yeah. So if the individual, if it's taking place inside, it can't be random. Yeah. I mean, if it's taken inside, they can't be random people. Yeah. Yeah. If it's taken inside, it can't be random. So once it's indoors, it's not random. You know them people. Yeah. Because like I say, it's unlikely for somebody who abuses people to do it in front of other people. Yeah, very unlikely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very unlikely that is the case. So from that point of view, you can argue bias there, yeah, to say what the witness is saying is biased because depending on whose friend it is, you can really say what the story is going to be. Just depending on whose friend it is. Yeah, I mean, just depending on whose friend it is. Yeah, but the argument we made, who took the picture? Simple, innit? Who fucking took the picture, innit? And if you're in the house on your own and you're being domestically abused, as in you're being choked and battered, you couldn't take the picture from a certain angle, i.e., you couldn't be behind the fucker taking the picture. You get me? Innit? You know what I mean? Simple mathematics. You couldn't be behind the person if you're the one being choked out. So therefore, that was a video going into that house. Anybody who the report, the police turns up, the police would know that that camera has video capabilities. Simple as that. Why are you taking pictures instead of using the video? The obvious answer is what went on before the video they did not want to show in the courtroom. I mean, it's quite simple, you know. And I'm very concerned that these guns have been using still images rather than video. Why? Because it gives the wrong context, or it gives a favorable context for them. You know what I mean? That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll destroy you, man. Because all of these court cases, 1945, 1966, you could argue that, yeah, it makes sense, pictures, innit? Because relevant time, you could see why it's more likely going to be pictures. But in the 20th century, i.e., anywhere behind fucking, what you call it? Anywhere behind the 20s, the 10s, the 2000s, it should all be video. Why are we taking these pictures? So I know somewhere specific where this person had cameras in the house. And I asked them, I was like, why you got cameras in your house? I thought that's so weird, isn't it? Like, why do you have cameras inside your fucking living room, bro? You don't have cameras outside your house, but you have cameras inside your house. I think that was the weirdest thing to me, innit? And I couldn't work out why. Obviously, I'm lying. I did work out why. I'm lying. Trust me, I knew why. I did know why. But I pretended not to know. And I saw the person's behavior, innit? And I kept on asking, like, why you got cameras in your house? I was like, you don't have cameras outside the property, but you have the camera inside the house. And anybody would find that strange, innit? Anybody with any ounce of sense would say, well, you don't have cameras outside, but you have cameras inside. Yeah? Cool. Why? I mean, you just notice and think, why would you have it inside your house and not outside? So you're not afraid of intruders because you would have the cameras outside. Yeah? So it can't be based on intruders. It means the threat is coming from inside the property. Yeah, that's what it's simply suggesting, isn't it? That the threat is coming from inside the fucking house. And given that where I was, they were all friends and family, and I was the randomer in the situation. And I was a randomer in the situation. I realized, oh, that camera was there for me. So what I do every night, I put my middle finger, I go and stand in front of the camera and put my middle finger up in the camera. All of a sudden, that red light went off, no longer recording. All of a sudden, that red light went dim black. I want to ask, I won't reveal. I won't reveal what was the response I got when I asked, because then then everybody would who know exactly who I'm talking about. But that person knows themselves, because that was the only overt one. The rest of them were all covertly hidden. As in, we're talking like pin cameras and weird shit like that, innit? Yeah? You know what I mean? Yeah, so everybody else had pin cameras and secret cameras, but this camera was overt, like in your fucking face. Like, you just walk in and see it, you get me in it. You know what I mean? And I thought, why you got that camera there? And this person, yeah, this person swear to God that they weren't doing nothing and they weren't involved in nothing. And I'm just paranoid, you get me? Like I say, if I give the explanation of what they said it was, then it would just be obviously who it was. Well, I'm a kind of I don't reveal information unless it's absolutely necessary. I mean, the context is enough on this one, innit? The context is more than enough here, isn't it? The context is more than enough. I don't really need to go into that much detail. But you can see the situation I was dealing with. If I told you what they say was the reason they had that there, because they pretty much said the camera was a dummy camera that it weren't used for anything. I was thinking, well, you want to put that up in your house if it's not for anything. You know what I mean? And I realized right away, I confirmed it. I did confirm it right away. It was immediately confirmed. And I know that I weren't doing anything to that person. So I realized right away that I was being stitched up by white people. I realized right away. But the question is, yeah, I know how I am as a person, and this is how I made sense of these sort of things. I know what I am like as a person. I have never hit anybody in this world, not one, that didn't do something to me, as in physically, where I responded. And I've never just walked up to someone, just fucking hit them for no reason, just for the mere fun of it. So when this person started putting up cameras now, I started to look at them funny, innit? Because the reason what they gave to me was it didn't make sense. And right away it just didn't make sense. And I thought, alright. So I started to every night I'll just go and put a middle finger up there, you get me? Because whoever is monitoring and watching that camera is just seeing that middle finger the whole time. Because I saw the camera, I'm not a fool. And pretty much a day later, the red light went off, it was no longer recording. And got the fuck out of there after that. After that red light went off, I stopped going there, innit? But I was going to continue to go there because they want to record something to let them record it. Well, I stopped, as soon as that red light went off, I stopped going back around there, innit? And I know for a fact that that person had been blatantly caught on video. And I think that's what they were trying to do because what they would have done is to come and show screenshots to the public, or this is him doing this and this is him doing that. But they wouldn't show what led up to that situation, i.e., that person who's barking in your face and calling you a loser and a waste man and insecure and you're not a man, you're not providing nothing for them, basically mistreating you. They weren't gonna show that. What they'll just show is you fucking lashing out and grabbing at their necks as a result of that constant psychological barrage. They would not show that part because that would play a major role into the action because it's called reactionary abuse. So reactionary reaction abuse. So it's a reaction to a period of abuse. So it's like bullies, how bullies work. So you ever watch them movies where some kid is being bullied and one day he just shoots up the fucking school? It's not justifying it, but it is as a result of what was done to the child. Them ones where the kid's being bullied and the kid fights back, finally fights back. You get me? Reactionary abuse, isn't it? He's taking a lot of bullying and he decided on that day to retaliate. So psychologists are aware of this thing that the police definitely are aware of it. So how many cases in Britain have you ever heard reactionary abuse being used as even a defense? Because what they're gonna argue is that no matter what somebody does, it doesn't give you the right. Well, it doesn't give you the right, but it also doesn't make you wrong because it's a psychological fact that it is a fight or flight response. And fight or flight response are really involuntary responses that you really have no control over. So if psychology is telling that you are technically responsible for, I guess, instinctual behavior, i.e., somebody comes and attack you with a knife, you either run or you fight. It's instinctual because the present danger posed to you at that point you are not really thinking like a logical person. Yeah, some people, they're not even thinking about their safety. Their first thought is to flee from the danger. Some people, they won't run, they'll fight. It's not, you don't think about it. You're an animal at that point. It's animal instincts. So psychologists are aware of these factors, but you'll never see them being brought into a courtroom to, I guess, give their expert opinion on what that topic is. They don't use it. They don't like that defense. They don't allow it. They don't want that in the courtroom because guess what? These cunts out here like to entrap people and stitch people up and abuse them and know that they're gonna abuse you. And at some point you're going to hit somebody, and that's the 5 second video you see. Guess what? If you don't have the presence of mind, because they're gonna say, "Oh, you're a snitch," "Oh, you're this," that's the sort of thing that they're going to press on your mind, make you feel like you are a snitch. They are recording you, but somehow you are the snitch. The owner of that camera is a snitch, blood. The owner of that camera is a snitch. Simple, isn't it? I mean, that's what they do. That's what these guys do. Like I say, other people, based on that factor, I realized right away that other people was recording me and have been recording me with their little pin cameras and secret surveillance cameras. I was aware of it. But I just thought to myself, well, you ain't put no cameras outside, but you got cameras inside your house. Like, what is the present threat to you inside of your property? Why the need for the camera inside was necessary? Because go and ask anybody, yo, it's not even an average response to have CCTV in your house. It's not. When people put cameras inside their property, it's usually because they have some pet that they want to monitor while they're at work or something. You get me? There's a logical explanation. Yeah? But there were no pets that needed to be monitored in that house. You know what I mean? It's not like you can have children in the house at a certain age on their own, so it's certainly not for kids. So, like I said, there's only specific reason why people would put cameras in their house. Abusive people put cameras in their house, i.e., they want to keep an eye on their partner 20 fucking 4/7, i.e., they leave the house, any any conversation you have on the phone, they want to be able to hear it and hear it through these cameras. Because most cameras now have speakers and mics in them. So all these little secret cameras people are putting there, half of these people are getting caught cheating. How do you think they're getting caught cheating? Because their partner got fucking recording devices in the house, listening to every fucking phone call they're making. So you're sat there chatting to some girl thinking, oh, I'm gonna come and meet you. They already know because they're sat there. Listen, you're cheating and they're breaking your privacy. Who's wrong? I was like, living in people's houses is a bad thing. Like, if that house is not 50-50, if your name's not on that fucking tenancy or mortgage, I don't think you should live in people's houses. Bro. Because if it's their house, they put cameras in there, legally there's no issue. Because it's their house, isn't it? Well, like I say, the photo thing though, I don't understand why I don't understand why lawyers wouldn't use that. So unless these things are being used in court and they don't broadcast these things because obviously for nefarious and malicious intent. Mm. So i.e. they won't come and talk about cases where them things happen because they don't want people to start looking and finding ways around it. Innit? You know what I mean? Because what next? What are we gonna do next? Get jammers inside of our house, signal jammers. Every time you're in your house, you turn on some fucking signal jammer to ensure any spy camera, surveillance camera, and microphone. Basically, you'd be at your own inconvenience as well, wouldn't it? Because I guess you could plug in the Wi-Fi inside Yeah, I guess you could plug the wire inside the computer or whatever you use, and that the signal jammer wouldn't be affected, innit? Or it would just affect anything over the Wi-Fi. Well, like I said, I saw this thing just dead weird. And me, the situation that I was put in, what are they doing with these cameras and videos and images? Because they can't prosecute me on anything. So what they're obviously using is to, I guess, to use it to manipulate the community, isn't it? Because it's not like the community is going to come and say, no, 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 we don't want to see no pictures. Show us the video, innit? It's not, people don't think like that, innit? You get what I'm saying? People don't think on that level, innit? Obviously, I went through these things, so I obviously think on that level, this experience at that point, at this point.
For a restraining order, and as you mentioned,
And
a
yeah,
lot of the evidence that
and
was,
some people like to take restraining orders and stuff out, yeah? It's easy. Oh, provoke somebody behind closed doors. You know you've got cameras rolling secretly. That person have no idea. You provoke that person, blah blah blah. After about 10 days, that person retaliates either verbally or physically. You now call the police on them. Police turns up. They get kicked out of the house. Guess what? They then show the police that 10 seconds of you retaliating violently. The police then, oh, advise you on this and that. If you want to prosecute or get a restraining order, then the judge grants it on that 10 seconds. So neither the police ask for the full video nor the judge. And where is the law there? How does the law particularly? I don't know. I don't particularly know how the law works. But that's either corruption, or incompetence, innit? Because if you see 10 seconds of video, you'd obviously ask where's the rest of it. Because when the police are looking through CCTV, they don't just look at 10 seconds, they look at everything that went on that led up to the problem. So when that situation happens, why don't they look at everything that led up to that issue? Which says a lot about them in general.
a lot of the arguments he was making were things that occurred a long time ago. It didn't necessarily seem like, as T.P. Palmer established a pattern of extreme violence in the relationship. Not to, and again, I wasn't in the house. I don't know exactly what happened. I'm just trying to, add the context that this is a very common tactic that abusers use to try and deflect from their actions. He said a lot of powerful things. And by the way, he doesn't mention his role in any of these years old incidents, does he? He doesn't say anything about it. He's trying to end her. He's trying to destroy her. And it is disgusting. It's this narcissistic thing where I was invited into your life, and I suspect there's psychological abuse going on in this relationship. You can decide the giver and receiver of it, and it clouds judgment. And it makes people. I did subscribe to this channel, so I'm gonna fucking take it unsubscribe, innit? Perhaps. Because this is what they do, yeah. And maybe got a lot back when she gave birth to this beautiful little boy and said,